Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Best Cheapest Podcast. Today I got my boy Esteban here. We're gonna be talking about a lot of shit. Hopefully
we're gonna talk about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, a lot of shit. Black Lives Matter. Everything going on in the world right now, and just anything and everything that may come up. So, boom. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
So what were you saying right now about? Because I was mentioning to him that we're still as a podcast, we're still in the infant stage. So if we find the need to edit and make things better, then so be it. And that was just telling you that if you find anything that you may want not out there for whatever reason, it could be personal, it could be social, it could be whatever reason, that's fine. We've talked about personal things here that I didn't feel comfortable sharing the other person's thing, and I had to cut out because I was like, you know what, that's not my information to share, or I don't want, because at a point maybe that person didn't have an idea of the magnitude of having your personal stuff out in the internet.
No, yeah, so, I was just telling you whatever I'm dumb enough to say on here on the internet. I know what's going on with the internet, and I think it should go out fucking unedited. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you were talking about somebody, I don't know who it was, or maybe it was you, that said faggot on your podcast, and you thought it needed to be edited out. And that's one of the things that you know what I mean. People are so fucking sensitive that you get offended by a word even if it doesn't pertain to you. Or if it doesn't describe, or it wasn't even directed at you to begin with.
Yeah, I mean...
So, no, I say a lot of stupid shit, but, put it up.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
I agree, but at the same time, just because it's not sensitive to me, and I do believe that everything is relative, and everything has to be in context. If it's not meant in a negative context, then what's the point? Like, why is it insensitive? Or why is it bad or whatever? You know what I mean? But I also understand why it can be. And that's important too. Because if we just stand on one side, then we're just being, what's the word? Not insensitive, but we're just being, man, I can't think of the word right now. But I don't think it's right to just stand on one side and build your wall around yourself and say, nope, this is how it is and fuck you.
You don't think the world is like a little bit too padded now, especially for us? Like,
no, it can be.
Generation?
No, I think it is, but what I'm saying is it's important to understand the other side. I'm not saying to justify or to like give them.
Nah, I hear you.
You get what I'm saying? But it's important to understand.
Yeah.
Like I don't agree with a lot of shit. But I understand, why things happen. Like, for example, racism. If there's fucking...
It's a hot topic.
Yeah. I obviously don't agree with, and I don't think you agree with racism either.
No,
but
nobody does. Or...
Yeah. Well, but some racist people, I'm not agreeing with them, but if there's a racist person that only has known about racism all their lives... and then encounters a black person or a brown person, whatever, right? When they're X years old, whatever.
Yeah,
then it comes off as racist.
I've seen it in the military. It happens a lot.
You understand why there's race. That's understandable. That's all they've known all their lives. You can't fault them for not knowing more if their environment was that their whole lives, right? So, but a person who's been around other cultures and knows about everybody and all that, and still decides deliberately to say, fuck everybody, whatever race I am, I'm the best because I'm this color or whatever, then that's wrong.
They're assholes.
That's not understandable.
They're assholes, but
Yeah.
I mean, in a free country, you should be able to say whatever you want.
Exactly.
And it doesn't make them not assholes. And,
No.
you know, a lot of them get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. That's a conversation that
It's a different
is hard. It's hard to have with.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, but it's hard to have because people don't. They think no, that shit's wrong and that's it. Yeah, no, 100% it's wrong, but in a country where you could burn the country's flag and it's 100% okay,
You should be able to say faggot.
you should. You know what I mean? Why can't somebody have an opinion, even if it's right or wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to put it, that's the country we live in. You know what I mean? And if that person's an asshole, then that person is an asshole.
Yeah, you were saying, you know,
what I mean?
you got to try to be sensitive to people's emotions, and I get it. Like, I don't get any pleasure from fucking putting people down, you know, but I know I'm rough around the edges, and I'm not going to change it because I can't fucking, like, pander to every single person.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you might get offended if I say one thing and he gets offended about another thing. And I'm not just going to fucking speak in politician talk, you know, to make everybody happy. You know what I mean?
No, I understand. But the things that you are
And
capable
I'm gonna say
of
some-
being sensitive to, then why not? Because it takes more work.
Yeah, because it takes work to be sensitive to everybody's individual emotions.
No, well, the things that you
You know
don't know, then you don't know. It's like the racists who grew up in a racist community all their lives. They don't know. But a racist who didn't grow up in a racist community and they decide to.
I think I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
If you don't know that, let's say, faggot. If you don't know that faggot is
it's gonna offend some
insensitive,
people.
then you don't know that. But if you know, then and you do it purposely, you feel me? Maybe in
Yeah, that makes me
conversation
an
it
asshole.
slips, but if you purposely say, this is gonna fuck some people up. Oh, fag. You know what I mean? Then you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that's fucked up.
Yeah, you know, I have I hang out with a lot of gay people, and it's not like I go out of my way to fucking put them down for being gay, because that's, you know, that's fucking stupid, and I'm not an asshole, right? But if you say faggot, like, that's a word, like, fuck, that's a word that just gets kind of thrown out a lot. It was more so when we were younger, but it's not like I'm fucking directing it at any specific person, you know?
How
So
do those people feel that you say it?
I don't know. We'll have to ask. I say a lot of fucked up. I still say fucking gay jokes around him. You know what I mean? And you know, I've been knowing that he was gay, but when we were little, there's a funny thing. I used to say fucked up shit to him all the time. And when I found out he was actually gay, I stopped saying, you know, like fucked up, derogatory gay slurs at him, because believe it or not, I'm not an asshole to him. You know, like specifically. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna change my language, the way I talk, to not hurt his feelings if I'm not talking to him to begin
Because
with.
it's relative.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like, because you know. But when you didn't know,
No,
there was a different story.
I would call him faggot all the time.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When you know that it's hurting or it's whatever, if it's negative or it's taking negative, then that's where the fault becomes a fault. That's where it becomes a fault or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
But even then, well, I don't think you're arguing the point, but
No,
some people do. So I'll just throw it out there real quick.
Yeah.
Some people think that it's fucking hate speech or whatever, and it should be banned. Fined. Countries are doing it. Canada's doing something similar.
I don't know about like it's just a touch, because if it's a free country, it's a free country.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, because we could have a whole fucking 3
I mean,
hour.
why not?
Because I came for something specific.
We could do everything.
The issue at hand right now is Black Lives Matter, and I'm not. If somebody's fucking dumb enough to watch me run my mouth for all this time, they're gonna be pretty offended. If you know, especially if they donated to Black Lives Matter, or you know, I'll just go out and say it. I think Black Lives Matter is a sham of a movement.
Why?
Because it's based on this idea that white cops are going out of their way and they're sort of hunting and trying to kill black people. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the idea behind Black Lives Matter, and that they want to stop that, right?
I think they want to stop police brutality against black people.
Police, if it was a police brutality issue across the board, me and a lot of people would be on board. A lot more people would be on board. But when you make it Black Lives Matter and you try to make it seem like this country is fucking institutionally racist, which is not, and we'll get into that in a second. But you know, they make the racial divide amongst themselves. Whoever the fuck came up with this organization made it a racial thing when it didn't have to be, because it's police brutality across the board, and that's a problem. And I think everybody could agree on it. But the idea that the country and the system is inherently racist and they're going out of their way to kill black people at a fucking alarming rate. Like the lawyer of George Floyd came out and said that what's happening in America is genocide against black people. It doesn't fucking feel like any genocide I've ever experienced. And you know, I think that I went out of my way to pull some numbers for you.
I think that it's an opportunity to make change. I don't know, and that's another rabbit hole in and of itself. Who says what number, and how it comes up, and why it comes up. You know what I mean? It's a difficult thing. But what I do know is that there's more. I don't think that white cops are hunting down black people. But when there is that opportunity, it's easier to lay down the law against a black man versus a white man. I don't think it's a hunt. I don't think there ever was a hunt I don't want to say ever. I don't think it's a hunt of white cop versus black man. Because it'd be happening way more than it is.
Do you know how much it's happening?
It's more. It's 3 times more probable of a black man or black person to get killed by a cop than a white person.
No, I don't know where that came from, but that's not true. Or not any numbers that I've ever seen, but I'm open to ideas. The numbers that I pulled right here are from Washington Post. Fucking God forbid I pull something from a conservative, you know, because everybody's going to say it. So it's the fucking Washington Post. They're liberal as fuck. I didn't make these numbers up, right? 2019, every year about 1,000 people get shot and killed by cops. 2019, 14 black people unarmed were killed by the cops, right? And I mean, does that sound like fucking genocide to you? 14 in a country of 350 million people? I don't think so. And you could look it up. You could look it up for yourself. But I forgot to connect to your Wi-Fi. But here's the Washington Post. You know what I mean? You should go on this website. They track this shit.
What about that website?
Really care about it.
Monitor Police or police-something.org.
Never heard of it. I'm open to look at it.
I forgot. Let me see. I think my notebook is in that drawer behind you.
No, I gotta give fucking credit to these assholes because they actually made a really, for a dumbass like me, I could follow along with it really well.
Yeah.
So look, you break it down right here, right?
There's a website that monitors police throughout, not black, not white. It's just...
They don't either. You put the filters you want. So you could put filters by state, gender, race, age, mental illness, weapon, body cam, fleeing the scene, and year. Right? And so I put 2019. It's the most recent numbers there is.
Yeah, that's the year I was looking up.
And unarmed.
Yeah.
And I got 14 fucking people. And I'm like, this doesn't sound like something you should burn a country down over. Maybe I'm fucking crazy, but especially because when you consider that when you unclick black and you hit white, it was like 25 people. Okay. And I know people are gonna say it's disproportional because 13% black, fucking 60-something percent.
And don't you think that's important?
It is important, but is it genocide? Is it?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We could agree that it's. I feel personally that it's not white cops hunting down, black people.
Is it an institutional racism problem like a lot of people are claiming? Because that's where.
Why do you think it isn't?
Because the numbers wouldn't agree.
What numbers?
These numbers.
No, but we're talking about. I'm just institutional racism. in and of itself.
The reason
The
blacks
whole-
are dying at the hands of cops, it's not
No,
because of
institutional racism.
What about it?
Not murder, not police versus black people. Institutional racism. Why?
Do I believe that's a thing in the
Yeah.
United States?
Yeah.
No,
Why not?
I think it's irrelevant.
You think it's far gone?
Yeah.
Racism is far gone?
No, I don't think racism is far gone. I think institutional racism. I think this country as a whole is not racist.
Oppressing black people?
It's not. I don't think it is.
I think
It's easy.
I'm not a political expert, and nor do I try to sound, or am I, or that's not my goal, right? But yo, go do something about that shit, please.
People say it's easy for you to say
It's
because
called, yeah.
you have white skin. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Mexican. You have white skin. You pass off as a white dude. I'm like, okay, well, check this out. If the system was institutionally racist and it was meant to keep black people down, how the fuck is it that everybody's favorite president ran this shit for 8 years and nothing changed? Was he not black?
I don't think there's still that effect, right? So if the effect is still there, then the base is still there. You can agree that the country was founded on racism. There was a lot of racist shit going on, right? Pre, post, or during and post Civil War, correct? Right?
Yeah.
So they say, fucking the whole reason there's more black people in prisons and all this shit, and there's more poverty in the black community and all this, right?
I got something to say about that too.
Because you don't believe that's attributed to the Jim Crow laws that were almost in effect for 100 years. That has nothing to do with the redlining and the sectioning off of black community and keeping them in the place and defunding that community.
I think that has a lot more to do with more recent crime bills and less to do with Jim Crow laws. You know, how many people are still alive?
I think that all goes hand in hand. That's a trickle down effect. They're getting the laws and everything. We could both agree on the fact that racism is much less now than it was back then. And in effect, the life now in the U.S. is much better now than it was fucking 50 years ago. We can agree that.
Yeah.
For a minority.
For sure.
Right?
But
what I'm saying is that those effects of all that shit going on back then is still on now. Like, those effects are still happening. You can't expect hundreds of years.
That's where I disagree. Because there was a lot of laws. There was a lot of laws that were oppressing fucking people by race or by gender or by this or by that. And we don't have any of that now. Fucking name one.
But those effects are still there. I don't know laws, and I know the very basic. I'm a dumbass. I know the very fucking basic. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, but fucking Bob versus the United States say it. I don't know that shit, right? But the effects of all that shit going, there's still people alive today that went through segregation, that went through all that shit in the 60s. It's only fucking, like Joe Rogan said, slavery happened 3 people ago.
Yeah, 3 generations.
You know what I mean? So those effects, there's people alive right now that are very well coherent to tell you about when they lived. I mean, my grandma was here just not too long ago, 2 weeks ago, and she was born in the 1930s. If she was alive in the U.S., she was living in the U.S. in her whole life, she would have gone through all that shit. She would have been able to tell me all that stuff. I'm sure you know people who are way older than you you could say, oh shit, they're still alive. They lived through it. So I could see why they could still live with that effect. They can't just be like, oh shit, it's all fine and dandy now. You know, we had a black president. We're good. It doesn't happen because of that. You know, if I lived through, it's like, let's take it like this. If a Marine suffers from PTSD and they're saying, no, you could go to a psychologist. Why don't you change already? Because there's shit ingrained in them already. Shit that they've seen. Shit that they've lived. Right?
Yeah.
Or any military.
I see.
You get what I'm saying? So but that's what I think is happening. There's still effects of all that shit that happened.
That would be a residual effect on the individual person.
But how many individual people?
That you can't erase. But what you're talking about is people that were alive in fucking during the Jim Crow laws that were affected by racist laws.
And the redlining shit.
There's like fucking 10 of them. They're like 80 years old.
No, 10. But what I'm saying is
That's not
that
that's
could
not
still
the
affect you.
That's not the people that are out protesting Black Lives Matter. Not at all. There's
No, but they have been affected. Their lives have been affected.
how though? I don't understand.
In every way, in the way that they've lived, in the way that they've been brought up, in their environment. If they've been affected by, let's say, the most recent and most popular shit, I'm sure you've heard about it, the redlining, right? The sectioning off of communities, the throughout the whole board, what's it called? Acceptance of not funding or not providing that black family, a loan to get that certain home because it's in a white community. But you could go down the road to where the rest of the black people are and get a house. And this section and this section might be the same square mileage or whatever, but this section has only white people, and this section has only black people. This section of black people is the first ones whose budget is going to be cut. And this section is the one who's going to have more money towards that community. And what's going to happen? If you have more options and more opportunities, you have more chances of prospering. Now, if this community doesn't have those chances of prospering, then what are you going to get? Ghettos.
No, I don't
You get
know.
what I'm saying?
I honestly haven't heard of
Yeah.
what was it you said?
It's called redlining. Yeah. And I think that more so than in again.
I've never heard of it, and I can't make a comment on it because I don't like to make fucking unbased comments. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. But I think that
I'm very selective with what I put out there because I like to check it. I'd be open to you being like, look, these are the fucking numbers. This is the dude that got disqualified from a loan when he obviously had the income and he should have qualified for it.
But if
I think you'd be hard pressed to find that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you'd be very hard pressed to find a fucking hard data on that.
it's historical, but it's history fact. Right, redlining is history fact. I mean, I didn't go through it because it was just an obvious thing, and it's something that's, especially right now, and you go on, I don't have any other social media but Instagram, but you go on any, if it's on Instagram, it's everywhere else. It's everywhere that redlining was a thing. I've heard podcasting with various people from the left and the right that state,
Is it a recent thing or is it?
No, this happened back in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Yeah,
but so if I live with my grandma, right? Who my grandma was only able to get this loan here. If I still live there, that means my parents went through the same shit. And if I'm still living in here, you get what I'm saying? And
yeah, but what's keeping you from leaving and moving on, doing something better?
Well, that's all you've known.
That's certainly not institution because, like I said, the laws are gone.
But that's what I'm saying. That environment is all they know.
I'll tell you what it is, and it's gonna catch me a lot of shit. It's communal. It's your own fucking people. It's the people next to you. It's this fucking culture where we embrace fucking thoughts and players and baby mamas and baby daddies more so than family.
I think that has something to do with it.
It's got a lot to do with it. The number one predictor of whether a boy will grow up to be incarcerated, do you know what it is? The number one predictor is whether that boy has a dad or not. Did you know that?
I believe it. I don't know. I don't know the numbers.
We all know, blacks are fucking are incarcerated at a much higher rate than anybody else. Do you know the percentage of black kids today in 2020 that don't have a dad? Fucking staggering. Throw a number out. Just wild guess, 1 through 100. It's like 70%, man. You can't make this stuff up. Mm-hmm. It's like people just look on the surface. Black people are not doing good. It must be racism. But you just gotta fucking scratch a little bit and you see all these problems. White people are the least of their fucking worries. You know what I mean? Like, we're burning cities down, right? Coronavirus fucking crumbled businesses across the country. People are fucking hanging on by a thread, and they open up and they get their fucking shit burned down on the first fucking week because some fucking asshole cop kneeled on a dude, killed him. Right? I'm not saying he shouldn't get fucking punished for it, but it's not racism. It's not something you burn the country down over.
You don't think it's an effect of numerous occasions happening and nothing changing? You get what I'm saying? Because I think it's important to take in consideration, like you were saying, because this is going to go into the same thing. Like you were saying that, right? There's I was looking at percentages, and I forget the percentage. I have it down there, but again, to me, I really don't, because then it just becomes a back and forth to me. The numbers that I found, right, on this mapping policeviolence.org or whatever, in 2019, 370 white people got killed by police.
It sounds about right. That's what I saw earlier.
And 235 black people got killed by police, right? So that's 145 people less. 145 white people.
Yeah.
Right? More white people. Yeah, but if you equate that to the population of each race,
it's disproportional. I agree.
It's disproportional. There's 3 times by those numbers, right? And if you ration those to the population percentage, it's 3 times more possible for a black man, for an unarmed, because I put unarmed. I think it was unarmed. I don't know.
Those are across the board. Unarmed is the numbers I had. It was 14 and like 25.
Yeah, so the percentages
like
are still
like
the same.
18 Hispanics.
You know what I mean? The percentages are still the same. What I was getting to, when I don't.
You're right.
I mean, you could get with the numbers.
The ratios are not equal.
Yeah, I don't like the numbers because then it goes, well, who did that? Why, and all that. I think the base thing is. I mean, you could, I'm not telling you what you could put out numbers or not. You could do whatever, but what I'm saying is, if the numbers were equal, or because you were saying I looked at the same numbers and it was like 1,078 one year, 1,100 and something when so it's about 1,000 a year that people get killed throughout the board, white, black, brown, whatever, by police.
But the unarmed portion is fucking very, very small. You just gotta point that.
No, out. yeah, but the ratios are the same, right? There's still 20 more white people getting killed more so than black men, right? So, but again, if you ration that out with the percentages of the population, it's 60% white man, so it doesn't equate to 13% black man.
Black
right?
people are getting killed at a higher rate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but what I'm saying is, if that's not changing throughout the years, right? And one thing that's been thrown out there, there've been many peaceful protesting and nothing has changed. This was meant. There was rage from the beginning.
There's some justification going on there.
Well, there was rage from the beginning, but you don't think that's fair? That they should just continue to be. You don't consider that there have been many peaceful protestings and those peaceful protestings have been shunned and put down.
Peaceful protests for white cops killing black people.
Cops killing black people.
I'd be hard pressed to find one that hasn't turned to violence.
The most famous one, Colin Kaepernick. They told him, shut the fuck up. Stand the fuck up. You respect my flag. If I could, not me, because I'm not a U.S. citizen. If you could burn your flag.
You could burn the flag too.
It's not my right.
You probably shouldn't do it, but.
I could burn that one maybe. Here. I don't know about Mexico, but I could burn it here. That's what I'm saying. If he was told to stand up and you're fucking, you get what I'm saying?
It didn't lead to anything, but yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Right?
You're right. It didn't lead to anything.
So, and if that was told to shut the fuck up, right? And all the marches that followed, for all, I mean, we don't have to fucking get into every fucking person that got killed in the last, let's say, since 2013 and on, because that's when Black Lives Matter started, right? 2013.
What was it, the Ferguson one?
Ferguson, there was peaceful protesting. The one for Trayvon Martin
turned to violence. All of them turned to violence. Just you got to point that out. You know what I mean? Some girl, I gotta mention it because some girl on Instagram put fucking the looting and the violence. That's not Black Lives Matter. Just because she doesn't want to believe that's what fucking Black Lives Matter ends up with, doesn't mean they're not with Black Lives Matter. That's like me saying the fucking cop that killed, George Floyd wasn't a police officer, because police officers are not supposed to kill unarmed citizens. They're supposed to serve and protect. It's the worst of the worst, but they still fall under that umbrella.
But if they, I can see that. I can see what you're saying.
People don't want to own that shit. They gotta own it.
I can see what you're saying, but also, I think that people are going to take advantage of any situation, right? And if they're calling for peace and just we're marching, and some dumbass because they saw raging out in Minneapolis where this shit happened, right? I think the looting started. I don't fucking know. Aside from, I think the looting starting in the big cities where there was big shit to steal, where there was big shit to get into. I think the fucking rage obviously started in Minneapolis. Yeah. That got carried over to every protest, and any opportunity that there was to loot, they looted.
You know what's the thing? Have you ever heard of? Probably not. You know. You ever heard of the Boogaloo or the Boogaloo Boys? You know, there's a lot of people, not just black people, that are pretty fucking pissed off with the way police treat people in general and with government overreach. You know what I mean? And if they would have just fucking stormed the precinct in Minneapolis and not made it a racial issue and fucking burned it to the ground like they did, and that's it, and demand some fucking change, there would have been a lot of people on board with it. There would have been a lot of conservative white people on board with it. Mm. Because it's not just fucking liberals that are tired of this shit. Conservatives, you know what I mean? Some dude, I feel like an asshole because I don't remember his name. On the East Coast, he got red flagged. Red flag laws is like your neighbors or your family or your co-workers. You got to fit certain criteria. Your girlfriend, they can report you to the police that you have an assault weapon or that you have a illegal firearm of some sort, and they could come confiscate it without due process. They'll take it and then they'll figure out if you're fit to have it. So this dude is sleeping with his pregnant girlfriend, some fucking random bitch, probably a Karen, red flagged, told the cops that this dude had some fucking assault rifle or whatever, and they did a no-knock raid, and this fucking dude hears noises, wakes up. There's a SWAT guy standing in the window, and he doesn't know who the fuck it is because they didn't fucking announce themselves. And he reaches to the nightstand. I think he had his fucking piece right there, and they smoke his ass. And they shot his pregnant girlfriend too. Some white dude. You don't think, and it's not on the numbers because he was armed, right? He was about to shoot some fucking home invaders. That's what he thought, at least. Yeah. And you don't think fucking conservatives would be on board with fuck the police in that case? Of course they would. But when you turn to Black Lives Matter, which is based on the idea that it's institutional racism, then you're fucking validating that idea. And that's where we draw the line. That's where we're like, you know what? That's not what this country stands for. So, we're not going to fuck with it. And that's why I disagree with Black Lives Matter as a whole. Yeah. Fucking period. I think it's a fucking load of bullshit.
I talked to many people who agreed with all the shit going on, because I don't think it's right for especially small business. Target and shit, I really don't give a fuck about. They could burn that shit down. It's not right, but to me, you know what I mean?
Up, it's fucking. Any more Coke?
Yeah, bro. Right.
Oh, thank you.
To me, they're not gonna take a hit. They'll be good. You get what I'm saying? It's not right.
It's not for us to decide. You know what I mean?
But when I saw like small businesses and shit and like, grassroots shit being burnt down, I was like, yeah, that's not like, why? How is this progressive? How is this gonna make a change when you're burning your own city down, when you're burning your own people's progress down?
Yeah, I don't see how you could.
But I do understand. Like I don't justify that single action, right, of burning that. But I understand why it happened. I guess that's justifying it. But I could just like I understand why faggot could be offensive. I understand why shit was being burned down throughout the board, regardless.
I understand why it happened. I just don't agree with it.
Exactly, and that's fair.
But I don't see how you can support Black Lives Matter and not be against the fucking looting. You know what I mean? Well, I think I worded that kind of weird. I don't see how you can not stand against the fucking looting and be on the side of Black Lives Matter. Like, that's your movement. That's what the fuck that led to. Fucking David Dorn, hashtag say his name, right? Hashtag George Floyd, say his name, hashtag this, hashtag that. David Dorn, you ever heard of him? Nobody has. You fucking watched him die. That was the video I sent you. The dude bleeding out on the sidewalk, old fucking OG black dude. He was like a 25-year veteran of the St. Louis Police Department. He was a captain. He was fucking retired, living it out.
He got shot in front of his pawn shop. Or a pawn shop.
Not even his pawn shop. He just went out to help out fucking random dudes for free. He wasn't even armed. And guess who? Nobody's gonna talk about. Guess who fucking shot him? Some black kid. You know what I mean? The 14 people that were killed unarmed by police officers last year, in one day, Monday, record-breaking numbers. In Chicago, 18 fucking black kids got killed in one day. Why? Where's Black Lives? Why aren't they talking about it?
You said you heard yourself get loud.
Yeah, I don't even have the fucking. This shit,
bro, you're screaming.
It pisses me off, and it should fucking piss you off, especially if you were negatively affected by this.
I think everything is opportunistic because things weren't. Again, it just everything is difficult all across the board. I agree that like all the looting, it's just stupid. Like I don't get it. It's just opportunity, and like even people saying. There's some people saying, "Oh, they're looting because they're not able to have this because of this." It's like, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. They were just looting because they wanted to fucking be funny or to be cool or to be take advantage. You know, that's it. They wanted the new Supreme or the new fucking whatever.
I think most of them don't give a shit about George Floyd.
No, exactly. So if they don't give a shit about George Floyd, then how can you bunch them in with the Black Lives Matter movement? Because if the Black Lives Matter
enabled this shit, they're the ones that made it possible. It wouldn't be, but one dude can't go into Target and loot. You gotta have a mass, and the mass that drove this fucking looting event was Black Lives Matter.
It wasn't a looting event. The looters took advantage and rode it like the wave. Yeah. There were surfers on a wave of an ocean. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
sponsored by. Brought to you by Black Lives Matter.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know much. I don't know the founder or co-founder of Black Lives Matter. All I know is that they were founded in fucking 2013 after Trayvon Martin's assassination.
Is that the one that got killed by
George Zimmerman?
George Zimmerman?
Yeah.
The white supremacist?
He got his ass beat and then he went on and killed him.
Yeah, the white supremacist.
I don't know much of him.
Motherfucker's Mexican.
But there's a lot of white racists in Mexican. White Mexicans who are racist.
Sure. For sure.
You know what I mean?
You know, I grew up with fucking old school conservative from the Rancho parents. Yeah. Of course I know this.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, the racism, there's racism everywhere. You know, but what I'm saying is, I think those looters caught the wave and were like, oh, motherfuckers in Minneapolis are burning down police departments and setting stores on fire. We could break into them and not turn them and not set them on fire, but we could steal their shit.
And the reason it keeps happening and is going to keep happening is because they get excused because nobody holds them accountable. Fucking celebrities, politicians saying donate to bail them out.
Well, I don't know about the looters, but the people getting, I don't know about the looters.
There's no separation.
Well, that's an issue in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I think that if there's protesters getting arrested, then those should be getting bailed out.
You don't get arrested for just protesting. You get arrested for protesting fucking in the middle of the freeway. In private property for fucking, doing something sketchy.
But you have to have a permit and all that shit to protest. I understand. And then if you don't have a permit, then yeah, you could get arrested. But don't you think that's a little much when there's hundreds of thousands of people protesting?
Again,
you know what I'm saying?
Again, government overreach. It's fucking bullshit. That you
but we can agree that people who are peacefully protesting, whether they have a permit or not, shouldn't get arrested.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And there's people who do peacefully protest that get arrested.
Yeah,
who don't have a permit.
That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate because they could have the backing of people like me and fucking tens of millions of others, because we don't fucking like government.
Do you think
you gotta get a permit to get married? Yeah. What kind of bullshit is that? You gotta get a permit to build a porch in your own fucking house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't like that shit. It's bullshit. They've been slowly overreaching for a long time. Military not military, police and government.
Yeah, and what the fuck was I gonna get to before this?
I don't know. We saw interrupt a lot.
No, it's fine. I just went blank. The fuck? We were talking about bailing out.
Yeah.
We were talking about
fucking bitch.
About George Zimmerman. We were talking. I forget. There was a point I was trying to make though. But what I'm saying is this: is that is what I was gonna say. If rightfully so, they should be prosecuted. The people killing, people protecting from being looted, right? Like that retired cop that got shot in front of a pawn shop, right? The people who killed him.
Nobody knows who he is.
But what about the police injuring all these fucking people and shooting them blatantly in the face with rubber bullets? It's equatable.
Wrong. Yeah,
right?
You know the cops, tossed that old dude, fucked up his head. He's got brain injury.
And
if he needed that shit at his fucking age, he was probably senile as fuck already.
And then there was another dude another older dude who got pushed down to the fucking ground too.
That's what I'm talking about. His head bounced.
No, there was another one. They just they pushed him, and the cop that pushed him realized that he was getting recorded and turned around and helped him up.
Oh, okay.
And it's like neither of them help each other out. If the cops weren't doing none of that shit, then there'd be even more so people being shut the fuck up, don't be protesting.
That's what I'm saying. Is
and
there
just
bad
like
cops?
If there was no fucking looting, there'd be more people saying fucking protest. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they go hand in hand, I feel. There's protesting because there's violence, and there's violence because there's people protesting.
Imagine if fucking Mexicans went out and did some crazy shit every time a Mexican gets killed.
Half of them would get deported.
Even worse, imagine if white people did some... Oh, here's why it would be worse. In Virginia, they try to pass some fucking assault weapons ban, some crazy gun control shit. And what did these fucking rednecks do? They put body armor on. You saw it. They armed themselves to the fucking gills. And they went to the Capitol. And they were like, pass whatever the fuck you want, but you're not taking shit. They showed up armed to the teeth. And people were saying they're white supremacists. No, they're fucking not. There was black people there too. And the point I'm trying to make is that not a shot fired. No fucking tear gas. They didn't do anything illegal. They left the place cleaner than they fucking found it. They cleaned up after themselves. You know what I mean? And you can't fucking back a Black Lives Matter protest because it always ends in some bullshit. So imagine these angry ass white dudes if they went out and they, the ones that are armed as fuck, if they went out and they acted a fool every time a white dude gets killed. Because by my numbers, and feel free to bring up your own, white people are getting killed more often. Less proportionate, but more often for sure. Way more often. More than double.
But again, that all is relative to...
So should we go riot every time a white dude gets killed? No. Because
it's police brutality, period.
It's police brutality, and that's all it should be. It shouldn't be black or white or...
But if it's disproportionate, then that does matter.
Well, here's another thing that I'm going to get hated for this, but I don't give a shit. Black people commit disproportionate fucking crimes. Partially because of what I said, earlier. Read into it. You fucking go on it for hours. And
I think that goes, like I was saying earlier, it goes hand in hand with the systemic racism.
I'm not gonna excuse it. I'm not gonna excuse it because their great grandpappy was a fucking slave, or because their grandma lived in Jim Crow.
No, but we agreed on the fact that if we still live with our grandmother, which is very prevalent, if we still live with our grandmother or our mother, who were no other option was but to live in the ghetto, and we still live there, and that's our environment, and our parents live there. And do you think it's just rooted in us, right? To just live there.
I see.
Don't you think that that plays something? If I'm low income and the only people that are able to live next to me are low income, and I can't, even if I have the credit score or whatever, live in a better community unless I'm fucking filthy rich. I can't go live in a better community. And only people who are stripped of options live here.
No, they're not stripped of options.
That can't. Well, if your community is budget cutted, then where are the options? If
you could fucking leave. You could work your way up. You could go to school. You
Yeah,
can
but-
do it. There's plenty of black people that have done it.
100%.
If that was the case, there wouldn't be any fucking
But plenty
black
isn't
conservatives.
enough in the sense of, again, you proportion that to the whole population and
That's
the
what I'm
population
saying.
too who are living in poverty. Because, and if, again, it's another rabbit hole you have to go down to. The people who are living in poverty due to the redlining that were in the 1960s, that all affects it. That's another wormhole and another whole fucking set of numbers that you'd have to go through and take you months to look up and actually source and actually find valid, and you know what I mean? If we never lived that, I can't say otherwise, because there has to be a benefit of the doubt. Or no?
There's got to be some proof, man. Maybe it's the fucking asshole. You know what I mean? I like math. I don't like storytelling.
Yeah.
I want to see the numbers.
I like both. That's why I do the podcast.
I like these numbers. Well, I don't like them, but I don't like them at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
But there's something to be said, because people don't like the disproportionate, policing of black communities.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the disproportionate crime of black communities? Like you said, black people, we all know it by this point, they're only 13% of the population. How is it that they're committing half of the murders? Nobody wants to talk about that? Just
Again, I understand what you're saying.
So you know these numbers.
I don't know the numbers, but I
you've
I
heard
believe
this.
you.
You heard this. You know
I've heard this.
Okay.
I don't know the exact numbers, but what I'm saying is that can go hand in hand with the system that their parents had to deal with.
You gotta fucking get over it. They gotta own
That can't
shit
just happen overnight.
And it's not overnight. It's been fucking
40 years.
What, Jim Crow laws were repealed in like the fucking early 60s?
Yeah, but the redlining started in 1963, I believe. So if throughout I don't know when it was abolished or when it just diminished, if I'm being honest. But if that's when it started, my mom was born in 1965. My dad was in 1960. You feel me? So I could have, if I was of that community, you get what I'm saying?
My parents were around during the movement,
So why, how can I just get over it? If I don't have a decision when I'm 5, 10, 15. Maybe when I'm 20, I could try to fucking get the fuck out. Yes, 100%.
It's because they can do it.
But I think it's just hard to agree that it's harder.
Let's go. It kind of leads back.
Because if we agree that there's white privilege, then we can agree that it's harder.
I don't agree with it. That's a whole other thing. But we'll talk about that for another few hours. But
I don't think we've even been an hour.
No, it's been a while. How long has it been? 48. Oh fuck! Then I'll talk then. Let's talk.
We have another 45 minutes.
I'll touch on it real quick. There is a lot of things, almost everything, where white people are doing better than Mexicans and black people. Yeah. Am I right? So, that's pretty accurate? So people assume it's white privilege. You assume it's white privilege. A lot of people.
Not because people are just doing better in general.
What other things? They're doing better.
It's facilitated.
They're doing better education, more pay, less incarceration.
I believe that if you're fit for the job and you're better, then you should, or whatever position, opportunity, whatever, then you should be.
You should get it.
Why not?
So then you're against.
If you're fit,
so you're against affirmative action. Hey man, you're a little bit. Are you sure you're not a Republican?
If you fit the position, no matter what race you are, or if opportunity, whatever, you have to work for it. I've never said people should be handed shit. I
agree.
But to not understand that people don't have the opportunity to be handed shit or to have the opportunity to succeed, that's real too. If we can agree, we can't agree.
They're privileged.
You haven't looked.
They're privileged in the way that white people have been doing better for longer, but not any more so than, say, Barack Obama's kids are going to be privileged against kids from fucking Oak Block in Chicago.
Again, you proportion that to the white people who have succeeded.
Yes,
you get what I'm saying.
They have a head start. But there's nothing keeping fucking black people now except for, their fucking history.
Ah, fuck. I don't look into a lot of this shit because I don't like surveys and numbers because
they're boring.
Not one. Well, no. It takes a lot of work, which I don't mind, but it takes a lot of work, and then you get questioned on it, and then you can't agree. Because if I was a liberal, because I'm not anything. I don't give a fuck about politics like that. This matters to me because I think it's more than politics for me personally. I don't think people say, "Oh, this is a conspiracy." To me, none of that fucking matters. What matters is human to human. That's what matters to me. And if the black community, let's just say, is being this and is being that, and if I look into it and I side with it, agree with it, or I could understand it, then that's when it's like, oh, yeah, I state my opinion. Not because of political this or political. I don't know shit about politics. I care when it's a human to human thing. Yeah, right? And I guess it is. Politics do go into human to human interactions because they rule how we blah, 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 right? It's a fucking wormhole. But what I'm saying is, what the fuck was I saying?
We've gone on some circles now.
We just kind of. What I'm saying is that. Damn. What the fuck was I talking about, Isaac?
Over there is like,
I know you're over
take
there
the cups away. These guys
Candy Crush and shit. We need help. What I'm saying, oh fuck.
We were on white privilege. We kind of got sidetracked. I was getting somewhere with that.
Oh, what the fuck were you saying then?
White privilege, man. White privilege, right? All right. So the idea that white privilege, because white people, they get better education. They make more.
Bro, you could even tell by the liquor that you're drinking.
They make more money.
Or by the alcohol that you're
drinking. White person got me onto that. Oh. That's not the whitest shit I have, all right? They make more money. They're incarcerated less. They have better education. They live in better neighborhoods. All of these things better than blacks and Mexicans.
Do you think that can lead to a better future and better opportunities?
Fuck yeah, it can. All right. So do you believe in Asian privilege? Because Asians
that happened in Harvard.
Asians are doing even better than white people in all of the fucking criteria that I just mentioned. Less incarcerated, more money, more education, bigger fucking houses. They're doing better than white people across the board. How is that possible if they're a minority? If this is a racist country, how is that possible? Yeah. You don't think it has more to do with culture than some fucking law that was repealed 70 years ago? Or slavery that was repealed?
I don't think it's been embedded in their history and in their culture.
They just fucking supersede it, dude. They're hard as
they're workers. A different culture.
Nothing's gonna stop them.
Yeah, no.
That's their fucking attitude.
I could see that. But I could also see that they were never, aside from the Japanese encampments,
they were never what?
Sectioned off like the history that the black people have. They've never ever been enslaved in this country.
Not in this country.
And this is where we're talking about where they're succeeding.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean? So
is it
if it's embedded in your culture?
So is it real or is it in their
it's both
fucking head?
It's in your culture, but it's real.
I think the realness is marginal.
It's cultural because I was arguing. Well, I wasn't arguing. Who the fuck was I talking to about this?
I think what's really holding people down is marginal, and the majority of what's holding people down is they're doing it to themselves. They don't. If people believe, if you've been taught since you're a kid that this country is inherently racist, right? That you're not gonna, because you're brown, you're never gonna make it. You just fucking stop believing when you're 10 years old, and then fuck it, let's deal some coke.
But that's being done because 40 years ago when my mom was born, or 50 years ago when my mom was born, she had to go through it.
What about the countless? What about
you know what I'm saying?
What about the countless black people that say, "Nah, this is all fucking bullshit. If I did it, you can do it."
No,
countless black conservatives. Nobody pays attention to them. But they're Uncle Toms.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that, again, it's possible, but if the majority people are being or children, let's say, because right, that's where it starts, and if by, like you said, by 10 you fucking like, fuck this.
It's a snowball effect. You got to be the person to break the cycle. But it's fucking hard. I know it's hard.
Exactly. If that's what's embedded in you, because my mom, when she was born and then she was able to get a house, or my dad, whatever, they were able to get a house. They were only be able to get in the ghetto, and they were told me, look, this is how I was raised and this is what happened to me. So it's probably more than likely going to be hard for you too.
Yeah.
Because that's all I've known my life was fucking oppression to only live there.
You know,
to only
people that
opportunity.
People that don't know me, they're gonna be like, this fucking white kid, fucking bitch, spoon-fed motherfucker. Look,
you're a beaner.
1-bedroom house, 7 siblings. All right, motherfuckers. Wetback dad got his papers later, and fucking immigrant mom from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And then people will say, "Oh, it's because you have white skin. You have that white privilege we were talking about." Fuck you. My first language was Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even fucking talk to people when I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I yeah. It's important to let people know. But even then, they'll still have opinions.
People are gonna. I don't give a shit about people's opinions.
And well, I forgot what I was getting to was the fact that
white privilege. That
what
for
I was
the reasons
that,
I mentioned.
What I was saying that if my parents were only able to live and have their opportunities in the ghetto because of the system, because of the banks, they deliberately not funded black families, right, and all that shit that happened. Because I think in modern day, that's the thing that affects people the most, the minority community, is the redlining. Because now me, millennial, whatever, are the ones who can speak up the most and have the ability to speak up the most, and we were the ones who really were the first ones coming out that were affected by that redlining. Because that marginalization of living only in a segregated place because the banks really only loaned you over here and not over here. Or only these banks were able to give you the loan and these banks only had opportunities here and not here. You know? So I think that's why shit's happening off. Do I agree that... I mean, my pops was he was a World Vision kid. Literally ate trash off the floor. Fucking ate... There was a famous story. He says that they didn't have money to purchase gum, so they would open up batteries, and inside batteries, I've never opened up a fucking battery. I don't know if it's the same now and then.
Please don't tell me they're chewing on that shit.
They chewed on the black little gummy shit that they had on the inside because they didn't have money. They were ignorant to what the fuck it make. You know, he's fine and all.
How's he doing, by the way? He moved somewhere when you were in high school, right?
No.
Where's he at?
Well, he's working right now.
Oh, he lives in California?
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'm tripping. I'm thinking of somebody else. I thought he had moved to like Arizona.
Nah, my pops always lived with us. But so what I'm saying to that is that I don't believe that he could have just stayed in that rut because of whatever Mexican system had pressed on him.
Yeah, but who's making him? Who's forcing him to do that? The system?
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to. That he himself was like, "Fuck that! I don't want to be fucking World Vision, baby."
Exactly. Rise above it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, 100%. But to say just fucking get over it and shut the fuck up, that's
bad. Some people need a little spank in the butt.
But to say it insensitively is where the issue is. To not understand why they haven't.
Yeah, I get it, because they get mad and then they don't even listen to you.
Just like people don't understand why it happened. They just say, shut the fuck up. It happened 50 years ago. It happened 400 years ago. Shut the fuck, get over it. How can you get over it if your family, that's all they've known? That's all you've been breaded through generations. You can get over it. But to not understand, but to not understand how people haven't, that's where the issue lies.
My dad to this day doesn't fucking speak English.
Yeah, I know.
3 houses, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A wetback.
Yeah.
A wetback with 7 kids and he's got fucking 3 houses.
Yeah.
No retirement. But you know, whatever. He figures. Did he figure something out or not?
What did he do with that Galaxy that he had in the back?
Did he make it? It's sitting in the back
It's
rotting. It's a big pile of rust.
I remember your brother had super high aspirations.
Can you fucking make it happen or not? Of course you can, man. 7 kids. Half of us are shitbags. You know, some of us are doing pretty good.
Are you classified as a shitbag?
I'm both, man. I'm a fucking degenerate. I like to drink. I like to smoke. I'm pretty fucking mean most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, people don't like me because I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't hang out with I got a few, you know, good friends, and that's about it.
Yeah. No,
because I say shit like this. You know what I mean?
But
I get it.
But the difference is that you're not tied to that. That's not your identity.
No, yes and no.
You know what I mean?
There's
Your
one
identity, like I was telling you earlier, there's a dude who I was speaking to. It was his like cute. That was his team, and that's another issue I have with politics. Motherfuckers choose a team.
You have to, because if you're in the middle, you have no backing. You know what I mean? You're gonna play the soccer team of 11 by yourself.
I understand that, but
I
understand that.
That's how I ended up Republican.
No, I get
when
it.
I'm actually pretty fucking liberal, believe it or not.
It's hard to believe.
And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So in high school, right?
Right.
Smoke weed. Fucking weed's cool.
You should be incarcerated.
Right? We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And you know, gay people marry each other. I don't give a fuck. You know, I believe people should just be able to do whatever the fuck they want, as long as the founding principles of the country, as long as it doesn't impede on anybody else's life, liberty, or property. If it doesn't concern you in any of those three ways, mind your own fucking business. Uncle Daddy Sam, like, don't give a shit about if I build a porch in my backyard without a permit. Don't care about what I smoke. Don't care who I fuck. I don't want to ask you for permission to have guns. That's my number one thing right there. I don't want you. I don't want to ask for permission.
What's the whole thing about guns, bro? I don't fucking get it. I mean, I understand.
You really don't?
Like, no, I get why people want to have guns. I don't. To each their own. I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't think you do.
But
there's three main reasons.
No, I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't. If you want a gun, I'm not saying take the guns away. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
That's a good
like,
start.
No, I'm with you. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. It doesn't fucking affect me. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't get the heavy intrigue into like having a whole fucking arsenal. Like,
so I'll break it
and this
down
whole
real quick.
fear of like,
I'll break it down real
the
quick.
the whole fear of like somebody might break in. Motherfucker, you got 50 guns. How many hands do you have? Like, that's what I don't get. I understand. Like, I'm not saying I'd never own a gun, because I'm thinking like whenever I have my family and, you know, and that also depends on what community or who the people I surround myself with, right? But there's always crazy people in the world. I might have a gun or two. Not here. I don't fucking own a gun. What'd you say? No, but just for protection, right? But that whole intrigue of having 50 guns I know dudes who have 40 plus guns, and I'm like,
if I could,
it's a collection. I understand. But it's more so a power thing, I feel.
No, a big part of it.
A lot of people that I've talked to, I feel like it's a power thing.
A big part of it is just a mechanical fascination. The way people are fascinated with cars, with fast cars. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those people that partially the reason I like guns is because I'm fascinated with
how they work and all
the
that
engineering that goes into them. Some people are they like the thrill, they like the sport of it, you know, the challenge of shooting, because it's not easy.
That's all.
In some ways, it's a sport.
But why do you need an artillery?
What?
An artillery.
Why do you need artillery? I don't need artillery. I don't know. You're asking.
No, not you, but like people who are intrigued. Like I know a dude who has like 40 plus guns and another dude who has 50 plus guns, and I always ask him like, bro, how many hands do you have? They're like 2. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we have those fucking thigh straps.
I'll touch on it.
Four guns. I understand that shit, but more than that,
like
this motherfucker says he has one in his couch. He has one here. He has one there, just in case a motherfucker would. But
like
I'm like,
I said, the fascination,
I think that's more of a power thing.
I guess. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Because what community do you live in that you need a gun under your couch, under your pillow, under the frame by your bedside? Like, what the fuck? Like, there's something wrong.
What roads do you drive on that you need a Lambo that does 220 miles per hour? It's a country of
no.
Whatever you want.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. I'm asking you for the intrigue.
You don't understand it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying take those fucking guns away. Shut the fuck up. No. I'm just saying, like, I don't.
Some people just like to have different shit. Like they'll have a gun and then they get bored of it and they're like, oh, that one, this fucking German, you know, Walther, whatever, and they want to try something else, and before you know it, you're fucking divorced, bankrupt, and you have 60 guns
that you could sell and have your money back.
Nah, they don't sell them. Gun nuts are gun nuts, man.
Kind of like sneakerheads.
I'll tell you why I have multiple guns. It's because.
Can I ask you how many guns you have?
Yeah, you can ask me.
How many guns you have?
Nah, I ain't telling you.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. I have about
Let me guess.
Take a wild guess.
see, conservative, Republican, white guy, claims he's Mexican. You probably have like
decent
20,
Espanol.
20
guns.
Oh. You're not conservative, bro.
I have 7 guns. 4 of them are almost identical.
Oh, fuck.
And then, you know, a couple of little things that do different. They do different things. Yep. 4 of them are pretty much identical. The rest of them serve different purposes. Yep. And the reason 4 of them are identical is because
one's blue, one's green.
You fucking hand it off to a motherfucker if this shit gets crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. If the looting starts, which it is, and you need to protect your business, I'm too broke to own a business. But if I did, and it was about to get looted, I give one to my brother, to my homie, to my neighbor, and I'm like, hey, dude, help me out. You know what I mean? I don't want him to steal my fucking cupcake factory. Yeah. Just stand outside, look hard, put a magazine in it. If somebody throws a brick at you,
you can put 10 rounds though.
Yeah, sure. All my guns, just so you know, if ATF, they're all California compliant, and I definitely don't have any 60-round mags. I would never do that because I respect the government's authority. You respect
oh shit, dog, I'm hot.
Dude, I'm gonna get red flagged. I'm gonna be that guy that gets fucking smoked in his sleep by cops, by shitty fucking cops that don't hold true to their oath.
Your pops has that compound pretty on lock.
I don't know if he does. He doesn't have any. I mean,
you don't know if he does.
Yeah, I haven't lived there for a while.
Oh really? Well, I mean that's for another. But
yeah, you know, you can say it.
No, I mean it's your personal shit.
Living with my dad. It was
no.
It was
I'm
miserable.
just saying.
It's one of the reasons I joined the military. I had to fucking leave. Like there was no way for me to leave sooner. You know what I mean? I was 17 and I was like, "Hey, ma, come sign some fucking papers." And she showed up mad as fuck.
But is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
You wanted to.
It's impossible to describe. There's like a gravity. There's a calling for it. You know what I mean? It was something.
But not for everybody. That's in there.
It was an itch that if I didn't scratch, it was gonna drive me crazy. I guess I was looking for something. Yeah.
Did you find it?
Fucking, I think so. Yeah, badass dudes, just good people that, you know, you can't. You were
looking for what? Camaraderie.
The relationship you build with those people, you can't find it anywhere else. It sounds kind of gay. It's very fucking intimate, but.
Well, now that you said that, yeah.
It's a really
you have your
some gay shit happens, you know.
I'm sure. I was gonna. You have that your fucking squadron or whatever the fuck tattooed on you.
It's getting hot. No, I have a moto tat. I have a Marine tattoo.
Yeah.
It's a boot thing.
It's a bulldog.
Huh? No.
Some dudes have bulldogs. Some motherfuckers have.
It's a boot thing to do. You get made fun of it while you're in.
It's a boot thing to do.
Yeah, it's like
what does that mean?
Like a cringy, like a rookie fucking. You know what I mean? Like a freshman thing to do. Like if you were
when would you get it? Like your first year?
Like if you're a freshman and you get Home of the Rebels tattooed over your belly button.
I'd never get a rebel or fucking.
It's
a red jacket like rebel on my.
Most people don't get them till they're out. Almost everybody gets one.
Yeah.
And so that's that. It is getting pretty fucking hot.
Yeah.
The Bacardi is doing its thing.
What was I gonna say?
Damn, we got sidetracked. We're talking about BLM. I think I made my point. If people don't want to listen to it, people don't want to look at the numbers. No, I think it's like, well, it's important. I've always wanted to have this conversation, and I told you when we were getting this thing together, I've always wanted to have a conversation where somebody was able to agree on things and disagree on things and trade views and concede both ends, concede something, and maybe not meet in the middle, but able to concede ideas or concede thoughts or views. That's important because I don't think you want violence here. I hate it, man.
And
I hate the reason for it.
Yeah, and in order for there to not be any violence, there has to be understanding. You cannot expect because that in and of itself is violent. You imposing your belief or views on somebody else. If you would have came in here and said, "Nah, shut the fuck up, Black Lives Matter, fuck them. I don't give a fuck what you say."
That's pretty much what I said. I didn't say fuck Black Lives Matter.
No. But with the sentiment as like, I don't give a fuck what you say, like directly towards me, and a lot of people do have that. Like, nah, you're tripping. Nah, you're wrong. Nah.
No, I think their message is mostly correct. They're just their packaging is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the conversations that are crucial.
You want to know what's funny? You follow me on Instagram?
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough for you. Did you
No,
see
I
that
follow
post
you.
I did of
Bro, I have
David
200
Dorn?
followers.
Did you see the post I made about David Dorn?
Yeah.
The I made some fake shit. Oh, he was killed by cops.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Somebody that me and you know, they liked it, and then they read the whole thing, and they unliked it.
Yeah.
And then they said, if you don't fuck with Black Lives Matter, unfollow me now. How fucking petty can a bitch get?
Yeah. Then that's the same thing.
That's the
same thing I'm talking about.
That's the adult version of.
Well, now that we're talking about posting, go ahead, finish.
That's the adult version of when you're in the playground in elementary school, and you don't get picked for kickball, and they say, "I don't want to be your friend anymore."
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Unfollow me now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, bitch, say less.
The other thing. No. Yeah.
I respect your wishes.
Yeah.
If you don't,
The,
if you're not.
the other
posting,
thing. Well, we were talking about we're talking about Instagram and all that shit. The other thing that I found an issue with, quite frankly, was, and I understand what you're saying about Black Lives Matter and all this. I get your point of view, but what I'm saying is that if we both understand that there is police brutality and there is government overreach and there is some type of racism still, why only post the negative shit and not like the negative shit in terms of why only post? I don't know if you did it or not. I'm not accusing you of this, but what I'm saying, there's other people who I know who only posted during the whole looting and shit. They only posted looting. They never posted the peaceful protesting. They never posted people making points. They never posted the injuries of like the old man you saw that got pushed down and got his head cracked. Just like you posted the dude, not you specifically, but, and if you did, yeah. So, but just like you posted the dude who got hit with a skateboard in the back of his head, or the dude the retired police officer that got shot in front of a pro shop, also post the other side, because I feel that's what's gonna lead to unity. Some people understanding that there's fucked up shit on both sides. And those both fucked up shits have to get resolved. And there's something fucking wrong. That's what I was like, yo, why aren't people posting both fucking sides? Yes, looting is fucking happening. Fucking rioting is happening. Buildings are fucking burning. People are getting killed. But on the other hand, people are also getting fucking mistreated and shot in the face. Their eyeballs shot out. Their fucking skulls busted by the cops during these protests. You get what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I like had a fucking issue with. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, if these people are for peace and these people understand and these people are pro unity and equality, why aren't they also posting the other side? Because that's important too. If what we want is equality and unity, both sides showing the looting and showing the police brutality during these protests are important, I feel. Because they're both fucking wrong. People getting fucking sniped with rubber bullets in the fucking head and their eyes, not shot at the ground like they're supposed to, and shot to their dome. That's fucked up.
You can't really snipe with rubber bullets.
But you know what I'm saying, bro.
People, that's another thing.
But you're supposed to shoot down.
No.
Even then, that shit'll fuck you up.
Rubber bullets are for shooting people, right? Let's just make that real clear. They're not for shooting the ground. They're for fucking...
But that's what they're supposed to do.
They're for hitting motherfuckers so that they discourage them, stop them from what they're doing.
Is that... You think that's right? To get shot with the fucking rubber bullet as you're not doing anything wrong?
No, if you're not doing anything wrong, then I think it's wrong. And I think the cop that pulled the trigger is a fucking asshole and should be punished.
Right.
If they were doing something wrong, they fucking deserve the rubber bullet. Maybe. Depending on how much wrong they were doing.
Yeah. I don't think murder should happen, but that's a utopia, and I know it's wishful thinking.
Hey man, utopia is happening right now as we speak in Chaz, in fucking formerly known downtown Seattle, Washington. It's not working out so good. You heard about it? The autonomous zone or whatever, they cordoned it off. No cop zone. People are reporting extortion, rape, fucking beatings.
I haven't looked into it, to be honest. I've heard about it. I've heard that it's an autonomous zone, but I haven't.
You heard about I'm sure you've heard about it. This defund the police, abolish the police.
I don't know about abolishing, but defunding.
These
depending
motherfuckers
what,
don't know what they're asking for. They really have no idea. No fucking
defunding
idea.
whatever, because defunding the police is just a broad term, right? Whatever defunding happens, that's what has to be looked into and agreed or disagreed. You can't, because I think there should be more money fed to the roots than to the leaves. More water when you fucking grow a plant. You don't grow a plant by spraying the leaves.
I hear you.
You grow a plant by spraying the roots and feeding the roots and giving that nutrition to the roots so that the base, the trunk is strong, so that the trunk grows and it fruits and you harvest it.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So if you're not watering the roots, then what the fuck are you doing? You're not fixing shit. You're putting a Band-Aid on cancer.
Look, man, here's where...
You get what I'm saying?
I think hear what you're saying.
If you defund the police, it's not gonna be overnight. You're gonna see shit fucked up. That's granted. I think, I don't know how much percentage. I don't know. Every city is fucking different. Has its own department. Has its own funding. I'm not saying. But if there's an extraordinary amount of funding going to police and nothing is changing, right? Or there's no progress, or there's still violence happening by a large amount, why don't you put that money into the education system, into the social system, into the medical, into the Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the fuck system, so that the kids who still are built up with that belief of that we both agree that they should break out of, it's hard, but they should break out of and succeed, have more options and more opportunities to do that. And what's going to happen? You're going to have more, for lack of a better example and lack of a knowledge on my end, you're going to have more Barack Obamas. You're going to have more fucking successful black and minority men and women. You're going to have that because they're going to have more opportunities. They're going to have more options. And unless you give them more options and more opportunities, then nothing's going to change. That's what I feel. And if you take more money away from the people who you're giving more money to, you're not fixing anything. You're just imposing your power on them and saying, look, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna fucking bring more motherfuckers in. Oh, you're not shutting up? More motherfuckers in. Oh, no, more motherfuckers. You're just showing your people that you're just imposing on them. When aren't you supposed to work for us and work with us? Aren't you my leader? Aren't you with me? Aren't you supposed to represent me? That's what I feel.
Now, I could answer that. I could answer it short because, like I said, I like to have some stats to back me up, so I don't feel like I'm in this shit alone. But I could answer it. I could answer it pretty quickly. You're talking about the way the distribution of our tax money is
essentially, yeah.
You don't agree with the way it's being distributed.
I don't know. Again, I don't know those numbers. I don't know.
You think it should go
100 million go here,
more towards education, more towards
100%,
less towards policing,
less. I don't know the numbers, but I think if there's still crime and all this need for police, then there's even more of a need for education. You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
If there's a more need to fund and to push police, then that means that there's something wrong with the roots. Because if there's need of correction, then something happening down here is the fruit isn't positive.
Here's something I wish a lot of people would just fucking take a little bit of time out of their busy schedules and understand a little bit better. Most of the things that they're happening at a local level. The things that affect you are mainly laws that happen at your city, at your county, at your state level. Whatever the fuck the president is doing hardly has an effect on you, believe it or not. Look, these cities, right? These cities where the most injustices are happening, where the biggest inequalities are, where the fucking minorities can't get out of this rut, they're fucking run top to bottom by Democrats. Nothing's happening because the welfare systems that you're talking about, the better education, the free healthcare, the free this, the better that, it doesn't fucking help. It just doesn't work. People don't use it. People abuse it. People don't use it correctly. It's something that's got to be within you. If people give you fucking handouts and you just feel like spending it on Bacardi, these handouts are just going to run. They're infinite. I could take them all day. That doesn't mean I'm going to save up 25 Bacardi bottles and go take a fucking class at Chafee. You know what I mean?
But if I'm not saying hand out money,
doesn't work.
I'm not saying hand out money or give any handouts.
They're run top to bottom by Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that shit. And again, I'm not Democrat, Republic, left, right. Again, I don't. So I'm not here to defend that. Just so that people fucking understand that I don't run with anybody. You know, I'm a fucking.
You fall on the side whether you want to or not.
I mean, by definition,
it's like prison
maybe.
rules, man.
Huh?
It's prison rules. You're gonna fall on.
By definition, maybe, but by choice, and by character, no. You know what I mean?
That's how I used to be.
So, but what I'm saying is, if you give more options, and more opportunity to the root, regardless if they're black, brown, white, whatever the fuck, the fruit is gonna be much more juicy.
It doesn't seem to work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Look.
Then why do you need
look
more?
At the way LA, look at the way San Francisco, Chicago, Baltimore. Look at the way they spend their money. Democrat as fuck. They spend all their money in the ways that you're fucking hitting it verbatim. And just look at these cities. They're fucking shitholes. The president said it. Everybody called them a racist. Whatever. They are shitholes. It doesn't work. It's not working.
They spend all the majority of their money on education.
They gotta try something different.
They're spending.
Nobody's spending the majority of their money on education.
That's how it should
be. The
be.
white neighborhoods are not doing that either, and they're still doing fine.
No, but the white neighborhoods aren't being already have the head start that we talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You push the people who are starting at the starting line.
Do you feel like our education was insufficient, or do you feel like people didn't take out of it what they needed to?
Both. I think it was people didn't take out of it what they needed to because it was worthless.
I think our education was more than sufficient. It's a fucking stepping stone. You take from it if you want to. You don't if you don't.
A lot of the things weren't. as a grown dude, me personally, a lot of the things they're not. I mean, I wish I could have paid attention to like now. I'm more in tune with like history and what the fuck happened back in the day. I used to think like I went to Alcatraz a few months ago. When I was fascinated, I was like, yo, like some motherfucker was locked up here and stood right here where I'm fucking standing and looked at the fucking bay and couldn't fucking touch the bay.
What a fucking terrible city.
And yet,
dude,
bro, I don't like it.
Come on.
I don't like it.
It's a fucking
not for its political shit. I just don't like the fucking city, how it's structured architecturally,
it's
geographically. I don't like it. Okay,
it's fucking nasty is what it is.
You have your opinion. You're right to your opinion.
You gotta fucking plug fucking heroin needles out of your shoes.
I never stepped on any heroin needles.
Yeah,
and we walked a lot.
Because you look down and you like you avoid shit.
I didn't fucking look down. What I did notice though was the dude. I guess I thought it was an art piece.
You didn't see anybody peeing in public?
No.
Really?
I was there for a week, almost 2 weeks.
It was one of the first.
In different communities, different cities.
A dude peeing in a fucking phone booth while I was waiting, and then not 10 minutes later, comes out. He comes to meet me and my girlfriend because we were lost as fuck, and this dude asked for a fucking cigarette.
That's funny.
And you know what? I was like, oh, thank God he didn't touch him. He was like, nah, fuck no, man. He had been living there for a while. Yeah. He knows how the fuck it goes. He's not giving any more fucking cigarettes to these homeless people no more.
Yeah. Okay, I was there for a week, almost 2 weeks.
My bad.
That's fine. And I never, again, I don't know the city. There's a lot of shit going on. I don't like it. I wouldn't live there. I'd live in somewhere in nature. That's me, fucking tree hugging motherfucker. I'd live somewhere in nature. Okay. Stop cutting down the forests.
Oh man, there's a lot of rum in the bottle.
Chill out. But what I was getting to is that I stood out in Alcatraz. I looked at the bay. I was like, damn, there was a motherfucker staring out of this fucking window sometime during this shit and couldn't touch that fucking bay. And yet 45 minutes from now, I'm going to take the little fucking ferry and hop my ass out into the bay and enjoy the city. And yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Again, to each their own. It's not for my liking. But what I'm saying is, in high school, I would have never thought of that I would be enjoying that shit or like envisioning or like taking part into that. But as a whole, I think I don't. Me personally, I think it should be. It's too systematic. It's too like. It's a whole different wormhole, but I don't think it's fit for everybody. And a lot of the people come out not knowing what the fuck. When I think high school, at least, because it's a huge stepping stone. As a young fucking person coming into young adulthood, you should be like kind of molded or like looking toward what you actually like, not into like, oh fuck, here I go into college. I don't know what the fuck I want to major in, and now I'm gonna pay for it. You know.
That's another thing, man. Oh, we could talk about that for days.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I think it should be more specific, or it should be more broad. There should be more opportunities, because even now, as a 27-year-old, I don't even know what the fuck. I know. I don't even know what the fuck. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure it out, man.
So
I feel like I'm in a hurry.
Fuck, me too. Everybody is. But what I'm saying is, how are you supposed to know that shit coming out of high school? At least with the education we've had. I think there should be more of a once you come out of high school, there should be more of a vision. Like, okay, I think I know what I want.
High school has its place, and
no, I'm not saying it should be gone.
I didn't understand it either, but I feel like thinking back on it, hindsight 2020, I see how important high school, just K through 12 is in general. Yeah. It doesn't it doesn't matter that you can write an essay. The Pythagorean theorem doesn't fucking matter unless you're going to be in engineering. Yeah. You know, a lot of these things don't matter. What school is for at those young ages is to teach you fucking discipline, structure, logic, problem solving. It's all these things that make you just an effective, functional adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
People seem to miss that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that
I think it gets lost
you
on the
forget
sauce
how
of
to
high school
fucking
and all
long
that
divide.
Shit.
It teaches you. More importantly than anything, it teaches you a little bit of discipline, and it teaches you how to think.
It should.
And school is built, the schedule and whatnot is set up in such a way that it kind of mimics, working at a job. Yeah,
I know, I could see that, but I'm just saying that it should be more, because people don't come out disciplined, and not people, but just a lot of them
do.
Most of them don't.
I feel like I did all right. If you don't know what the fuck you want to do, don't take a fucking loan. Don't take a loan. Yeah. Don't take a loan if you don't know what the fuck you want to do, and then be mad that you can't pay it off, and then me and you gotta pay for their fucking shit. I don't give a shit that you got a fucking liberal degree in fucking gender science, and nobody wants to hire your ass, and you got $100,000 in debt.
What's a conservative degree?
Yeah, I made it up.
Oh, I thought you were being
you're talking about what conservatives major in mostly?
No, I don't know what you mean by liberal degree and conservative degree.
If I really didn't want to talk about it, but if you break it down, conservatives, they major more in STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and math. And it fucking it makes money. It's not so fun. You got to go to school for a long time. It's not as fun as fucking. There's like a sex class, right? There's a sex class, and I was like, oh fuck, that's interesting. I'm not gonna take that shit because it's a waste of fucking time. A lot of people go to college. They feel like they just gotta have some degree just to be competitive, and at the same time, they're not really fucking committed. They don't know, because they don't know what they want, and they get some bullshit degree that's worthless, and then they gotta pay for it.
I think that's part of the root problem. I feel that if you water the root.
Plenty of homies fucking didn't go to college. They're all making more money than me. Truck drivers, construction workers.
Oh yeah.
They're banking, dude. Yeah. I spent 5 years in the military. I kind of didn't do shit. I drank a lot. I threw a lot of money away, literally. And
where?
And now all over the place.
Where? No. I'm talking about like countries. Different countries or no?
Japan and Korea. Japan was pretty. Okinawa was dope.
Yeah.
You go to Okinawa.
You threw a lot of money there.
You would think I literally threw thousands of dollars in the air.
Why? Like why? Just because you were in the moment?
Yeah.
Because you had it.
Because I was a young kid that didn't know what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? My housing was paid for. My food was paid for. whatever money we don't get paid a lot. I got paid like $25,000 to $27,000 a year. Sometimes I worked, 14 hours a day, Monday through fucking Monday, doing workups. But when you finally get that day off, you know what I mean? Like, it's go time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know what you mean, but I can see what you're saying.
You just ball out.
Yeah.
You have this money. You don't know what the fuck to do with it. What are you gonna spend it on? Your Xbox Live subscription,
Bitches,
and your cell phone, and that's it. And whatever else you got to spend it on, man. Whatever you feel like it. The military is a good thing. I feel like more people should fucking.
Yep. I don't disagree with it. I just, whatever. Whatever to me.
It teaches you a lot of good shit.
I mean,
you come out hardly anybody comes out worse than they were off before.
I mean, I don't know, but anyways, that's a different story. But what the fuck were we talking about before? Oh yeah, I just think that people should be more inclined of knowing what they wanted to do coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Or at least
take something.
Not taking, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like now as a grown dude that didn't go to college, education is key. Like I feel for me and for in general, I think that college, it's not important, but if you do take it, it could help you a lot.
There's some things that if you want to pursue that path, you have no fucking choice. You got to go to college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. But
I'm just medical.
Thinking for education in general, for knowledge, for that, not camaraderie, but for that having that discipline of having to do the work. All that's important and elevating your. I don't think I'm a dumbass, but I think that I could have learned much more if I would have taken an English class or whatever in college or a math class in college. I just think it's
don't get stuck in a rut.
No, I mean,
if you feel like you could have benefited from it, you're not dying soon, motherfucker.
No, I know.
Take that class.
Nah, there's too much shit. I don't know. But no, but what I'm saying is that what I'm saying.
How do you think
is that coming out of school? You should have more of an idea out of high school. You should have more of an idea of what you want to do and the ability to do so. More so than just the huevos and fuerza that you need to do it. Because if you just don't have the options to do it.
A lot of these people become cops.
That don't go to college?
They don't know what the fuck to do. They're like, this looks fun, I'll do that. A lot of people... You know what I mean? It's part of the problem.
I think cops need to be way more trained before. I don't know. I've seen circulating.
How are you going to train them way better if hashtag defund the police?
What do you mean? They have enough money, bro. They don't. I think a lot of that goes for more employees, more so than more training. It means for more boots on the ground than smarts in the brain.
Oh man, I'm gonna say it. I want to be a cop. It's been like, it's one of those things that kind of calls me. Well, it doesn't kind of call me. It fucking calls me. I feel like I could do better than most of these motherfuckers out there. And when I was looking at like what police departments to apply to, I wanted to work with a person because I don't know anything other than teamwork. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And most police departments in the United States are one person per patrol car because they can't hire enough people because they don't have the fucking money for it. LAPD is one of the few. I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to LA.
Why do they need billions then? Billions. Every year they add. I mean, I think their budget was a $3 billion budget or something, and 1 point something billion was allocated to the police, and they only cut 150 million.
Again, it goes by city.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No. I know.
Talk to that fucking city.
No, I know. I'm not trying to be like, nah, bro, you're fucking wrong. I'm just saying that
these cities where a lot of the fucked up shit is happening, a lot of the crime is happening, they need more cops. And inherently, it's a fucking dirty job. They're not gonna get the quality of person they're.
Being a cop is a hard fucking job. I'm not saying that. I don't. Again, it's. I don't know where I stand completely on no cops in the city, but I know that there should be some type of peacemaker, and policemen and women usually, at least for me as personally, they don't make peace. Me personally, in my encounters, you know, I had just because of the car I was driving.
The fucking purple Civic.
The
I'd
purple
pull you
Civic.
over too, man.
I wasn't. It wasn't tinted. I wasn't speeding.
I'm joking.
No, I know, but
I wouldn't pull you over in that shit.
You'd probably pull me over. But
I
like,
feel
motherfucker,
bad.
it's you.
I feel bad for you, man.
What the fuck?
You still have that car?
No, bro. They got jacked.
Shit. So you didn't even get pulled over when you had the dreads?
No.
Oh.
But they saw a brown kid in a white neighborhood and they pulled me over.
Where were you driving?
Rancho Palos Verdes.
Oh, whoever the fuck knows where that is.
You know, they literally just pulled me over. There was no.
What did he say?
He said that my car was registered out of state. I had California plates. I had just registered it, and I've had that car my whole fucking life. My whole life.
He literally said that?
He said my car.
You know, you gotta call.
And for other reasons, I couldn't argue.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I know.
You know,
yeah, I guess I see.
What the fuck am I gonna do? Get my car towed and having to call a bus and what the fuck am like and ruin my fucking day?
Nah, you're right.
And he made. I didn't have a license then, because of X, Y, or Z, and my buddy had a license. My buddy didn't know how to drive stick shift, and you know what this motherfucker said?
Drive it.
Well, it's a good time to learn, isn't it? This motherfucker could have caused an accident because of this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit ain't right. The second time I got pulled over, he just pulled me over because it was a nighttime. And he said he was doing his routine stops. What the fuck is a routine stop?
So you gotta hold these motherfuckers accountable.
But at the same time, it was hard because you live with fear. Like me as a person, when before I was under the DACA protection, all I thought about was like, if I get pulled over or if I get some type of ticket, I'm getting deported.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm not saying I'm not playing the victim card because fuck that. I don't like any type of aid. I don't like when there was a dude, I forget his name, but he was like, no, we demand citizenship. Like, yo, motherfucker, chill. You can't demand shit. You ain't from here. Like, this is a very controversial thing. I understand. Yeah, but I think you have to.
Where do you fall on that?
You earn it. I don't think you demand it. You can't demand shit. I don't think in general across the board. I don't feel like anybody could demand shit, right? But I feel that I just don't like shit given to me in general. I don't like help. Me personally, I don't like help.
No, I'm the same.
I don't like shit handed to me because I feel like a bitch. Me personally,
it's not a bad thing, man.
To each their own, you know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm not saying you should feel like a bitch if you get help or whatever. That's your shit. Me, I do. But what I'm saying is that I've done nothing wrong in my life. Why am I having to watch my back still now? Like, I'm watching like, oh shit, you know, what the fuck did I do? I think back. Like when now more so now that I have a license, I'm like, man, I ain't do shit. Now I've gotten pulled over and I've gotten let go because I was just like, yo, I haven't done shit wrong. But then again, I'm in a fucking not new, Silverado, right? And I'm
it's that fucking Civic, man.
No, it could have been. No, it honestly could have been. I don't see what other reason.
So you've had good interactions with cops.
No, 100. I'm not saying that fuck cops and all cops are bad. Just like I told you, not all. If you say that fuck all cops and all cops are bad, then you're saying that during these times I equated this to. That all the protesters are looting and rioting and they're all fucking causing mayhem. That's not true. That's not true. We can't. You could raise both fists. I don't believe that you have to fall only in one fucking section. That's why I don't believe that I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or I'm a left or I'm a right. I don't believe that shit. Because why can't you compromise? Why can't you find a common ground and be of unity? That's my whole thing. That's why I take like. I'm not passionate about this whole thing, but in a way I am, I feel. But this is a human to human thing. This is not about like politics and shit. For me, other people may view it as that and they could bring up their points and that may be fair. But for me, none of that matters. It's about human to human interaction. And as for my, but
that's unfortunate.
But you get what I'm saying? Like it's fucked up. But even then, I'm like, I understand that not all cops are bad. I've had, like I told you, at Rancho Palos Verdes, I got pulled over again, just a routine stop. What the fuck is a routine stop?
There's no such thing.
Exactly.
I agree. There's
you know, and he pulled me over, and they just pulled me over just to see if I had some shit. And I didn't have a license then.
There's bad cops that are inherently bad. They're not fit for the job they shouldn't be doing. There's also cops that are just, they fucking, like, people don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
It's a fucking system of humans. There's going to be mistakes made. I don't give a shit how many laws you pass or how many protests you have. Yeah. People are going to fucking die in a profession where they're hated because they're locking people up, obviously.
I believe you.
You can decriminalize a lot of shit. There's a lot of things that are criminalized that I think shouldn't be criminalized because they don't affect anybody. Fucking weed, prostitution, whatever. People should be able to do whatever the fuck they want, and it would keep our prison population down. But there's always going to be some things that you gotta police.
Yeah, no.
And there's gonna and if those police are people, they're gonna make fucking mistakes. Yeah. It's stressful. I'm not excusing them. Yeah. But the people that are calling them out on it, they won't do any fucking better. You would probably be a good cop. What I'm saying is some jujitsu. That's what cops need.
Yeah, no,
that would solve a lot of problems.
No, yes, 100%. Yeah, and knowledge of it.
Hey, like, man,
not just. I've been saying it this whole time, like not out loud.
From Henry Gracie, right?
Yeah, he started this shit like fucking 3-4 years ago, just training cops. Yeah, and that's what they need. They need jujitsu.
I wanted to bring it up to you on the whole Black Lives Matter topic. What do you think about the cop kneeling on the guy? What do you think the guy died of?
What do you mean, bro?
He was kneeling on his back, like on his neck and shoulder.
And you could clearly his other see it was on his I don't know what side, but he was on the side of the neck.
Yeah, but didn't coach say you got to pinch both sides?
No, you don't have to pinch both sides, bro. For that long? You have to pinch 4 sides and press for like 5 seconds. I've gone out, bro. Shout out. He put me out. Literally, yeah. He put me out the day before our fight. He put me out. And it was crazy because he had got me, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to fight. Let me try to tough this shit out, right?
This was back when you hurt your knee.
Before that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna fight this. He has it tight, but I'm gonna try to get out, bro. He snapped it in. It was tight. I went to fight, and then I went out.
Rear naked?
Yeah, rear naked. And then I went out. I felt myself, like, it was quick because I felt myself go out, shake, and then wake up. Like, it was super quick.
Have you been back since you hurt
Since my knee? No.
Me neither. You know, I was telling him, I was talking shit to you at the gym. I was like, hey, man, how do I do it from here without fucking up my knee? You know, like, you got out, you fucked your knee up. 2 weeks later, I fucked both of my knees up.
That's what you get for talking shit.
That's not what I get. Look, one of my knees, I was in San Felipe on a boat. One of those boats where they try to knock you off. You know what I'm talking about? I went up and came down sideways, fucked up my left knee. My right knee was already kind of fucked up. Fucked up my left knee. I didn't think anything of it because I was on that fucking good rum. Woke up the next morning, like, excruciating. I was like, oh, fuck. Wrapped it tight, went to jiu-jitsu when I came back from Mexico. That same week, what was this guy's name? I forgot his name. I haven't been there in a while. Construction dude. Dummy strong. You know construction workers, they're fucking strong as fuck. Yeah. He was a wrestler. He was a wrestler, but he was a construction worker. That motherfucker. Coach was like, hey, wait, you know, it's a fucking new jiu-jitsu. We got to learn leg locks.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, you should have stepped. That was your fault. You should have been like, yo, my knees hurt. My bad. Hey.
No, he did the other one. Oh. He wrapped up the other one, and I was like, oh, this is my good knee, bitch. And I was going down. He had it locked in, but as I was going down, I couldn't tap because I was flailing. By the time
you should have screamed, tap, tap, tap.
I did. Oh. By the time I hit the floor, it was done. Both of my knees were fucked up.
Damn, you're a wheelchair?
He heel hooked my fucking shit. Torn meniscus on one side, sprain. The other one, thank God, the heel hook one was actually not that bad. It was just a sprain. But the meniscus one, that was from the boat thing. That shit doesn't heal. Like, what they do is when you fuck it up bad enough, they'll just cut it off. Mm-hmm. But then it causes arthritis.
Because you got bone on bone.
Yeah, so I just took it easy, and I haven't been back since. Mainly because I'm a broke bitch, and I couldn't afford it.
Wait, the military doesn't back you after you're out of service?
Not because I'm a retard and I got fucked up in Mexico. They back you for injuries that happen in the service. Like my tinnitus, that's the only thing I could claim. Because I was around fucking jets. I'm trying to go to sleep and I hear mosquitoes. There's no mosquitoes in the room. It's my ears that are fucked up.
So what do you get for that?
10% disability. A little bit of money.
No, but like, I'm saying medication wise, bro.
Nothing.
They can't do nothing?
There's nothing to do.
So you'll have that forever?
Till I die. It's not a big deal.
Till I die. How loud is it?
It's not a big deal.
Is it just like that?
It's like the ocean.
Oh. So it's soothing.
You don't even hear it. You get used to it. You don't even... You hear it if you pay attention to it, but it's not. Like, you don't even notice it after a while.
But... Yeah, so what I'm saying, we'll get back to jiu-jitsu and police.
My knees, man. I haven't been back because I'm broke. Man, fuck.
But they should provide Medi-Cal or whatever the fuck.
My knees are fine. My knees are fine.
No, they're not. You showed me your fucking thigh the other day when you started training.
That's from the military.
That's why.
That's one of the things I'm trying to fight, but it's such a fucking hassle.
But either way, I feel if you're in that service, you should be covered even after.
They'll cover my treatment. Like, if it causes me more problems down the road, they'll cover it. It's taken care of. Anything related to the leg and that muscle tear. I don't understand why they wouldn't just fucking... Why couldn't you just fucking fix it, assholes? Motherfuckers. It's a muscle tear, but it was partial. So, like, let's just say it's 4, but it's like thousands of muscle strands. Mm-hmm. And then half of them went... And they bunch up, but they're still holding on over here. Mm-hmm. And they're like... We don't want to risk trying to attach these because we could fuck other shit up. Just let them stick to whatever they're going to stick on. And they told me do physical therapy, strengthen the muscles around it.
You have a fucking dent on your thigh.
There's a ball and a fucking hole in my thigh when I flex it. It's been like 4 or 5 years. It hurts sometimes when I do this motion with load. You know what I mean? When you're trying to do like kickoffs off the wall, like fighting on the wall. Mm-hmm. I was like, Coach, I can't do it. I'm not being a little bitch. I mean, I am a little bitch, but that's not the reason why I can't do this.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, well, we're agreeing that jiu-jitsu should be incorporated into the police training.
Oh, for sure.
Less things would. I mean,
you know, Gracie or Henry Gracie
they should incorporate it regardless whether, and then also other things, but. One of the things should be jiu-jitsu. 100%.
When your only tool is a fucking hammer, the world looks like a nail. And if the only thing they taught you is fucking taser and gun, you know what I mean? The taser doesn't work because the dude's on PCP. You're going to starch him. You're going to fucking light him up because they teach you, and I agree with it, they teach you if it's going to be you or him, fucking do him and let the courts figure it out.
There's occasion. I don't believe... Maybe I'm too utopia and police and love and all that shit. But I don't know. I just think that there is. I understand when there is times when people die and I'm like, fuck, I see why. But it shouldn't escalate to that. Again, it might just be my utopia based vision, but I just cracked my voice.
Cops can do better.
Yeah. I just feel like they could do better. The more training they have, the better. The more training they have, the more watering to the roots, the less boots on the ground. The more training they have, the less boots on the ground. The more watering to the roots, the less boots on the ground.
Cops that are single patrol, they don't have a partner with them in the car. They're more likely to shoot faster. It's just the way it fucking
That's their partner.
Huh?
That's their partner.
What do you mean that's their partner?
The gun.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know. And
I mean, they got fucking families. They want to go home too.
Of course. No, I'm not saying it's an easy job and fuck them. They're doing everything wrong. No.
Yeah, at that point, it's not even about police versus civilian or whatever. It's just fucking. It's just caveman shit.
But you have it, and if you have it, you're gonna use it. You know.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have other tools, why not? You know. So, but how you feel?
Cops do some fucking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of places give discounts. Some places do it free for cops. A certain amount of sessions.
Oh, I trained with before you joined.
A little jiu-jitsu, dude.
I'm saying at least blue belt.
At least. No, I wouldn't go that far.
No. Blue belt is not a lot. Blue belt is 2 years of training.
Blue belt is 2-3 years, dude.
That's not a lot. 2 years of training is not a lot. You should have at least 2 years of training to become a cop, to learn psychological shit, field street level shit, your curriculum or regulations or whatever shit, your penal whatever book shit. 2 years.
Cops get paid pretty good because
but their benefits are better. Like that's
their benefits are good. They don't gotta go to college. It's the big fucking like if you got that personality, if you're down, you know what I mean. If you got that risky behavior in you,
yeah.
and you want to do this,
yeah.
Here's the pay. It's pretty fucking good. But if you add on top of that, college courses, you gotta invest. Here's the
Wouldn't
thing.
that weed out?
It would weed out. People don't understand this about being a cop. If you go to school for, let's just say, engineering, right? You go through it, you get your degree. Just because one fucking company doesn't hire you doesn't mean the other million won't. Mm. If you try to go into policing, the way it's set up is it's fucking hard to get in. There's things in your background that if you have them, if you made a mistake when you were a kid, it doesn't matter what training you get, you're going to be disqualified from every department.
Yeah.
So imagine...
Wait, bro. I've been holding this pee in.
You gonna take a piss?
Yeah. I'm going to go out this door. I'm going to pee outside. Motherfucker. Bro, I've been having to pee for like 30 minutes.
Time out. I got to pee too. But I could hold it in.
I don't want to move this because then the shot's going to be different.
Well, I could pee where the fuck you're going to pee. No homo.
Well, not together.
Not at the same time?
Military, bro.
Well, tag me in when you're done. What do you think, man? What do you think about Black Lives Matter? That's supposedly what I came for. We've talked about a lot of other shit. That's supposedly what I came for.
Yeah.
Because, fuck, I forgot what happened. He posted something and I commented and I posted something, and then he came at me like kind of weird, kind of sideways, right? He was like, "Oh, bro, I know you're with a." I'm talking shit about you, man. Come on.
Go on the left side. You don't want to go?
I'm talking shit. Come here, bro. I'll go pee right now.
No.
Should I go pee right now? I was just talking shit about you.
It's okay. Keep on talking shit.
I was talking about how this happened, how this whole podcast came to be.
Yeah. Well, wait. Before you keep on talking, I had
forgot.
already thought about bringing you on because I thought you were the best candidate to actually sit down and have a conversation.
What was the post? One of us made a post and the other one commented, and then you said something about
you posted the thing. I had no issue really with the stuff you were posting up until you posted.
The black kids beating up on the Mexicans.
Yeah, because that to me incited a racial thing, and that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That was like that. I interpreted it as, look at these black people. They're fucked up. Fuck black people. They're fucking you brown people that are uniting with the black people. Look what these black people did to these brown people, and that's where I was like, yo.
In hindsight, I could clearly see why that's what you would think. But at the time, I was trying to, fucking make a visual explanation to the Mexican community. A lot of them are like on the fence of what to think about it. Mm. I was showing them, what's really going on and what I really think it's about. And, what I think it's about is a lot of things, but not George Floyd. So anyway, you DM me some, you know what I mean? Probably like impulsively, some shit about, I don't know, Confederate. You're like a Confederate.
I said, I was reading it this morning.
You said something about like, I know
it was something in the
beginning, something like that.
And then it was that I directed towards what I replied to, which was that video, and then I was like, I know you're with your Confederate boys in red, but, and then I went to explain my piece.
Yeah, and I was just like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not with the fucking Confederate anything.
Yeah. Because you're not a Democrat.
You guys heard that? The Confederates were motherfucking Democrats.
But how many parties were in during that time?
I don't fucking know.
There was only one.
Two. There was not a second one.
The Union.
Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican.
The Union was the Republic.
Yeah, the Republic.
So
learn some fucking history, homeboys.
That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to say. Are you recording? Yeah. I'm not trying to say.
We were having a chat while you were peeing.
That's good. That's good.
I was talking mad shit, dude.
It's okay. I'll edit it out.
Don't stop. Don't edit shit, man.
No, I'm just edit the part where I told you that can affect me in the future.
Let it ride, man. Is that
what?
That's your first glass.
No, I refilled it. This is no ice, bro. And then you went like 3/4 fucking Coke and then like a splash of Bacardi. Chill.
You know, the camera doesn't lie. They saw what the fuck the bottle was at.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
Right here.
They know what's up.
It goes up to the neck. Yeah, but this isn't a pissing contest. It's all good.
It's about to be. I gotta go pee.
Well, then go.
All right, where'd I go? Back to the cops in jiu-jitsu. Fucking blue belt, 2 years. I don't think it's unreasonable.
No. Bro, blue belt. I've been a white belt for fucking 10 years almost.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's because of me. If I would have stuck to it, I would have been like a blue belt in a year and a half. Easy. I'm just saying, if you have all that training in the books and everything else, and you're devoted to being a police officer,
they can't, as it is, they can't meet the numbers that are willing to be a cop in this country.
But why do you need the numbers?
Because people do bad shit, man.
And how do you solve that? Not by force. If you meet resistance with resistance, if you have resistance, what's the other side gonna be?
If we had the answer, resistance. I think we would use it.
No, I know for sure. We're just having, but I just think, like in general,
here's one thing.
Whenever there's push, the other side, in whatever, if you have some type of push or resistance, the other side is gonna push back. So
here's something I think is reasonable: jiu-jitsu and cops. The academy, pretty much across the board, most police departments across the country is about 6 months long, and a lot of that time. They go like fucking 9, 10, whatever hours a day, depending on the department.
That's not a lot.
Monday through Friday. But a lot of the time gets spent fucking hazing. You know what I mean? Like trying to weed out, trying to make them tough. Seeing if they're really about it or not. And it's a lot of nonsense. But it's the same as in the military.
It shouldn't be like the military.
A lot of this time that's spent wasted, they could do 2 hours every single day and do some ground fighting, some grappling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of turning to that fucking taser or that gun.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think 6 months is way too far less to train to be a police officer. If you're set to protect and serve, 6 months, that's pretty.
People have a misunderstanding of what exactly cops do.
But if they do more, then you should be trained more.
They show up after a crime has happened, and pretty much they collect evidence, and they cuff the perp.
So then,
and when they're when it's a slow day, when they don't got shit to do,
they hand out tickets.
They hand out fucking tickets. They they harass people for driving fucking purple Civics.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Then that's
cops in South Central are not handing out tickets.
I don't know. I don't. Again, I don't look at those numbers. I haven't looked at those numbers. I don't know. I can't, for a fact, say anything about it.
They're opposites. Like places with high crime is less.
So then, what do you? Less to me, I really can't wrap my head around other than water the root. Water the root.
What does that mean exactly? What does that entail?
Education. Show them that there's another way other than violence in your own community. Show them that there's more than just fucking sticking around in the same community that you've been in, that your ancestors, that your mom, dad, whatever, grandparents have been bred into. Show them that there's more shit to do. Give them that path. So, hey, motherfucker, take this path here as a kid. Children don't know it. Left or right, they don't know good and bad. You teach them that. You teach them. You show them. And if from childhood you've been taught, that, why not? How? Obviously, there's gonna be people who are just bad people in general. black, white, green, brown, whatever the fuck you are. There's good and bad in everything, right? But if you're able to mitigate that and minimize that, why not? That's what watering the root means to me. Showing them, whether it be by education, by extracurricular activities, whether fucking arts, sciences, math, education in general.
It's happening.
And it's not going to be overnight.
It's not happening as much as you want it to, but here, look, this is what I challenge you to do. I know you hate looking at these fucking stats. Look at them. Look at them
because I don't know.
Look at them from the 60s and look at them now and look at them 100%. In between.
It's better.
It's going down. We're getting so much better.
Yes.
In 2015, that's when the Washington Post started keeping track of unarmed killings by race. Wait, is that pure coke, piss? Man?
Huh?
That's pure coke.
That's pure coke.
Look, in 2015, there was 38.
How old are you? Little grasshopper?
24. There was 38 unarmed killings of black people in 2015. Mm-hmm. And last year there was 14. And if you look at the fucking stats, it's going down. It is getting better.
Yeah, but there's still work to do.
People gotta give credit where credit is due. Cops fuck people up. They do unjust shit. But everybody's keeping track of their fucking unjust kills. Nobody's keeping track of the fucking hundreds, millions of people they save every year.
But that's
all
their
the
job.
Good shit they do.
But that's their job.
That is their fucking job.
Why should they be praised?
Pilots fucking crash. Doctors fuck up medical procedures and people die.
Why do they crash?
Because humans make errors.
No. The majority of planes crashing is on takeoff and landing and this mechanical failures.
Because the people that worked on the airplanes,
they can't.
I worked on airplanes. I know exactly what the fuck goes down on these airplanes. When I got to the military,
but it's not pilots.
I became scared to fly.
But it's not pilots.
I became scared to fly.
You flew?
You should be scared. No, I didn't fly. I was a fucking wrench turner.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is that it wasn't a pilot issue.
People make mistakes. Whatever. The fucking.
You get what I'm saying? No, what I'm saying. I mean, I'm alluding to Chris Rock's quote.
What that guy said? I like Dave Chappelle better.
Dave Chappelle's dope. Did you hear his new
because he
Netflix?
says faggot.
Huh?
Because he says faggot, right?
No. On YouTube. You want to hear it? We can hear it. Well, it's like 27 minutes long.
Let's play the whole thing on the podcast.
No.
Just
kidding. Fuck, get pulled. We could watch it after. But or we could pause it, watch it, and then... You want to watch it?
No. Let's finish this.
But what I'm saying is Chris Rock said there's no such thing as bad apples. You don't hear, our pilots are pretty good. I'm paraphrasing. Don't quote me. I'm not quoting him. He pretty much said, you don't see airlines saying our pilots are pretty good, but you might get a bad apple here and there. So fly with us.
They don't say it, but it happens. That movie, the dude that landed the plane in the fucking Hudson.
Snakes on the plane?
I wish it was snakes on the plane. Denzel Washington landed that plane in the fucking Hudson based on a true story. He was fucking coked out of his mind. He was high
but out of how many flights?
I'm saying it happens.
No
matter matter how fucking utopian you want it.
But they're weeded out.
It's getting so good, dude. We're like,
no, I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not. Well, it's bad, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's hell. It's not what I'm saying. It should be weeded out as much as possible.
It's the best here that it's ever been anywhere
in the history here. Yeah.
Period. Anywhere.
Well, I don't know about the history of every other country.
Black Lives Matter. We're talking about Black lives. Black people live better here in 2020 than they have ever lived anywhere in the history of all time. Period.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be able to speak on that. I'm not. I'm not trying to push anything on you. I'm just saying I'm not a black person, a black man, and I've never lived in any other country, so I can't say. And whether the stats show something, I don't know. But my thing is with numbers, bro. Like I could show you something, and you'd be like, no, my numbers are different because of this and because of that.
But then you could be like, where'd you get your numbers from, dude? Like, well, let's compare them. You know, maybe the fine print is a little different. Maybe they categorize it.
But we'll never agree. Yeah, I mean, maybe you and I will.
We can agree.
Maybe you and I
will. We did agree.
Yeah, maybe you and I will.
We agreed that.
But in majority,
we agreed that black people get killed disproportionately, but we agreed that white people get killed more overall. And yet, all the protests are over Black lives and none of them are over anybody else. Can we agree on that?
But proportionally matters.
Yeah. What about the crime rates? Does that matter?
Yeah, but we agreed that the crimes happen because of a certain oppression of communities.
See, that's where I disagree. I don't believe in white fucking privilege, you know, for the reasons I mentioned. Because if it was true, it would apply to Asians as well, because they're a minority too. But they're winning. They're doing better.
But they weren't segregated and pushed here.
They kind of were.
Kind of doesn't.
Look into it.
Kind of doesn't work. They weren't enslaved and went through the 400-year history that
Mexicans,
the U.S. did.
Mexicans, we gotta cross the street to get here, right? We gotta fucking swim a little bit. I don't know how to swim.
Cross the street.
We're down the road.
Yeah.
Chinese immigrants, right now in the port of Long Beach, they're being smuggled in fucking containers.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting in a fucking boat for what, weeks, months, maybe, and they get here, and within a fucking few weeks, they're doctors. Well, I'm probably exaggerating, but they do. But
you're not exaggerating.
They're doing fucking great. Chinese immigrants, they get here. In China, most Asian countries, they have almost mandatory English.
They become
classes.
bus drivers, bro. They become tourists.
Look at the stats.
Their children, maybe.
Look at the stats.
But not them.
Okay, so
a lot of them get smuggled in,
so
especially females, for prostitution.
So a lot of it. So their children, 1 or 2 generations down, they're fucking banking. Black people have been here since the country was here.
But how? That's what's important.
It's been
Chinese have never been pushed to the side.
It's been a long time since slavery. It's been a long time since Jim Crow. You gotta fucking rise above it. A long time
is one generation. 1960 something when they were abolished.
Show me the Black Lives Matter fucking protester that wasn't Jim Crow. Show me
maybe not them, but their parents.
So what? How does that affect me? My parents were immigrants, right? Yeah. Not even one generation. My dad was an illegal immigrant, and he's doing fucking.
Your first generation.
I'm the first generation. Yeah. He immigrated here illegally, figured it out along the way. He got his papers later. If he could do it in less than one generation,
but
Mexicans are not discriminated.
Yeah, but they're not systematic. Like they haven't
systematic. Bro.
They haven't gone through that 400-year period.
I refuse to acknowledge that this country is fucking inherently racist.
That's your belief.
Because there's nothing that backs it up.
You choose that.
It's history.
You choose to believe. You refuse to believe. You choose to believe. Right? If you refuse to believe, then you're choosing that.
I don't believe it because nothing proves it. That's why.
If it took 400 years to abolish racism, and then you throw in the Jim Crow laws, and you throw in the segregation of redlining
in the past.
That's not even a generation ago. That's a generation ago past.
The Jim Crow laws is one generation ago.
Not the redlining, the building of the ghettos. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be extreme. Right? I'm just being understanding and like, well, I get it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't build yourself out of it and you should just become a victim. That's not what I'm saying. Because I could have very well became a victim. My pops and my family could have very, very well became a victim. I'm not saying that. But I understand how people couldn't have coming out of that system. That's the thing. It's understanding. And that's it. It's just understanding and taking it into account. And that's it. It's not about siding with one person or another. It's just understanding somebody's story. And that's it. That's it. I'm not saying you should still live in poverty because of all this. You could grow out of it. But I understand why you haven't. A lot of it is choice, and a lot of it is culture, and all these things.
So
but all these things have been thrown in because of the history.
So
you can't erase history.
You feel there's still a lingering smell that affects some people more than others.
100%.
So when are you gonna?
It's a personal choice.
What line do you gotta cross to where you're like, it's fucking done, it's in the past?
When that's a deep. It takes.
When everyone's equal?
No.
Well, it's never gonna happen.
I say no because it's never gonna happen. Because unfortunately, even though that's what I want,
I'm never gonna play in the NBA. It's against the laws of nature. Some people are better at things than others.
Yeah. I think that when the numbers are proportionately equal, that's when it'd be like, okay, we can't argue that.
We could get them pretty fucking close.
But they have to be equal.
Motherfuckers gotta police their own. They gotta hold each other accountable.
But that can't come until you like I said, that's what I firmly believe, and maybe that's just me digging my feet in the ground of watering the roots. If you educate more people in minority, like whether it be brown or black, in this case we're talking about the black community, but even in the brown community, there's a lot of people in the brown community, in our community as Mexicans, as Mexican American Chicanos, who are embedded and grow up in that cholo lifestyle, and
we hold each other down. 100%.
It's that crab in the bucket mentality, you know. But I just feel that the more options we give, the more options, the more avenues, the more, instead of giving money to the resistance in order for us to meet them in the center with more resistance, let them know that, hey, especially now, because there's everybody's watching this right now. Everybody. There's not one person that doesn't know George Floyd's name, right? And by that, what I'm saying is George Floyd equals all this other stuff going on right now of defunding the police, of equality, and all these marches going on, right? What I'm saying is everybody knows about this. And if everybody, I mean, again, maybe it's just my utopian mindset. If everybody sees that, you know what? It's like those people, like this police kneeling with everybody else or marching with the community and protesting. That's dope shit. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just a tactic to fucking calm the waters. But in a way,
it's pandering.
But in a way,
I think it's pandering.
The people protesting have won them over and told and kind of led them to either walk with them.
I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Maybe they feel like they got a small victory, like maybe we can move forward a little bit.
And if those same police departments who walked with those protesters turn around and keep on doing the same thing, it's gonna get worse, right? But my hope is that they've learned, like, yo, we need to change. And if communities see that they've took more funds out of resisting and putting them into growing, and it shows blatantly, then there's no reason. There shouldn't be no reason why shit had happened.
It does show blatantly.
How?
Just look at the numbers, man.
No, but in our community, how?
Just fucking record low unemployment, record high homeownership, just fucking higher education across the board, minorities included, blacks and Mexicans included, fucking less in cars. It's showing, dude. You gotta look at this fucking graphs. They're shifting. But if every time one injustice happens, we're gonna go back to fucking, rape, pillage, and plunder. Like, how perfect do you want it? If it's run by people,
not perfect.
If it's run by people, it's not gonna fucking happen.
I don't think there should be one president.
Well, there's governors. We'll get into that in a second.
There should be like 5 people, or like
wait till the.
I believe what Joe Rogan believes.
Wait till
there should be like 5. To
there's
10
way too many people
in charge.
Way too many people to be run by one person.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not really run, but whatever. Wait, if you think these riots were bad, wait until after. Fuck, man, I hate to say it. Wait till after the trial is over. You want to know why? Because I think they overcharged him. I think there's a good chance that he might he'll either get a minimum sentence or he might even get acquitted if he's got a good lawyer.
They can't do that because
of public pressure.
Yeah, even if it's the right thing to do to like minimize that shit. I don't know about again. I restate it. Like I don't know about politics and shit about anything, but even if it's the right thing to do to give them 2 weeks in prison or whatever the fuck, they wouldn't do it. They see what's going on now, and if they see what's going on now, before they're even sentenced, if they're not sentenced to how the community, it's gonna be bad.
I haven't looked into it that much. What was the official cause of death?
It depends.
No, what did the coroner say?
Well, the autopsy done by the police people said that he had COVID-19 and it was heart failure and other shit.
Fucking COVID-19 bullshit. Oh my god, I could hate on COVID-19 for a month.
And they did an independent autopsy and they said it was I forget the terminology, but pretty much he got choked to death.
Asphyxiation.
Because he had his knee on an artery. The other side of the neck is on the floor. And what's that doing? Clogging the other artery.
I looked at it, have choked unconscious myself.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I looked at it and I thought, I don't think that's enough to die from, but maybe that's just me.
Well, if there's no blood circulating to your brain, what's going to happen? If you stayed in the rear naked long enough, you're going to get...
I thought you had to plug both sides, right? And in the video, he goes limp. And just a few moments later, they pick him up and they put him into the ambulance.
A few moments later, that's more like 2-3 minutes later.
He goes limp.
Like 2-3 minutes later, they pick him up.
Was it that long?
Yeah. Oh. So it takes, like I said, it took like my coach said like 4 or 5 seconds to go limp, and a few coaches that I've had said the same thing. It took at most that for me to go limp. And fucking conversate for a little bit.
It doesn't matter how much he was kneeling on his neck. You count from when he went unconscious.
Yeah,
because that's when
which was like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, so if that's the case, if let the trial figure it out.
I think that regardless if it was overcharged or undercharged, they need to give him the most crucial shit in order for justice to be served, and for all this shit, and for people who feel like injustice has been happening, they feel that justice has been made. You know, a lot of people are going wild over that one.
You think they're gonna make an example out of him?
They have to, bro.
You know who they should make an example out of? These cases that I told you about, the 14. I made a quick little write up of each and every one of them. There was this chick, much like I told you about the dude that got shot in his house. There was this black chick that got shot in her house.
Breonna Taylor?
Maybe. I don't know their fucking names. I don't keep up with this shit.
You made a smart paper.
And
the paramedic,
he should be fucking. They should give him the fucking.
I think something just happened with her. She got shot in March.
It was in 2019.
Oh, well, in March they just barged in.
Tanya Jefferson.
Yeah, they marched in on her house. They got the wrong fucking house and just shot her. She was in bed with her husband.
I guess it happened more than once because it happened to this chick too.
I'm just saying.
The neighbor called the cops because it was a non-emergency call. They said it's weird. Her front door is open and it's like 2 a.m. Cop shows up, goes around the side, and she looks.
Was it a female cop?
Looks through the window. No, white dude. Looks through the window, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And boom, he fucking smokes her.
Yeah.
And he's charged with murder. Pending trial.
I think they have to make an example out of him.
They should make an example out of him. Not
everybody else. But
the George Floyd guy,
even more so now because that's the attention. That's what's right now. That's what everybody's looking at. And if that's what they should make an example out of him. And I mean, I think he murdered somebody. That dude murdered somebody. And the other dudes were aid or whatever the terminology
aiding
is
and abetting
of murder. So they should all be charged accordingly too. He should be charged with whatever the worst case degree of murder is, with first, second, third, whatever.
They charge him with second, and I think it's too much. When you get overcharged, you can't step it down. You know what I mean? Mm. What you can do is the right thing to do.
Why do you think it's overcharged? What's the difference between first, second
degree,
and third?
Because with a second degree murder charge, you would have to prove that it was intentional with the intent of killing him. And how are you gonna prove that when the police department's fucking their standard operating procedure is you cuff on somebody, and if they're resistant, you kneel on their fucking neck. That's the cops' procedure. That's
a lot
the
of
police
the, a lot of the
department's
cops
procedure.
came out and said that that's not a procedure done by the police department.
It's gonna be found out in the courts. If that's part of their procedure, done deal. He's getting acquitted.
But a lot. Well,
Bet the fucking bank. The riots are gonna get crazier.
And you think rightly so?
No, not rightly so.
Why not?
Not rightly so.
You think it was done with an intention?
Because it's never right to fucking for somebody else to pay for your dues. That cop has to pay for what he did wrong. But
what I'm saying is, do you think he should get the worst of the worst charge?
That's a tough one, man.
I think so.
It's hard because
He did it blatantly.
you gotta be.
He knew what he was doing. He had to know.
You gotta have linear logic, right? You gotta either believe in the law or not. And if he didn't break the law, then you gotta change the law so that this doesn't happen again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but he should. I feel that he should be made an example.
you can't charge him for something that's gonna be a crime in a couple weeks because we're about to change it. We're about to make progress. We're about to make change. When he did it, it's ex post facto. When he did it, it was not a crime. If that happens, like the cop in Mesa, Arizona, a couple years ago, did you see that shooting? Fucking white dude. He's a pest exterminator. They shot him in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that one?
I think I know what you're talking about.
He's on his knees, right? And they're telling him all sorts of weird shit. Stupid ass cops. They're telling him to like crawl.
Yeah.
Like walk on his knees. And he's
yeah.
drunk.
Yeah.
And his shorts fall and he reaches for him. And they're like, oh, I thought he had a gun. Fucking light him up with an AR 5 or 6 times. Fucking white dude. That's the most fucked up, gruesome killing of a cop I've ever seen. And he got acquitted. Nobody gave a fuck. You motherfuckers don't want to hear it, but it's because he was white. If that would have been a black dude, ooh, agárrate los putazos, man. It would have been a crazy deal.
Yeah. I think I believe that he's gonna get whatever they charge him of. He's gonna get it.
You want to put a bet on it right now? I think the most he gets is minimum sentencing for manslaughter. They charge him with second degree and manslaughter. I think second degree.
What's worse, first or third?
First is the worst. It's premeditated and on purpose. It means you planned it. You had time to.
And what's first?
That's first.
Oh.
Second degree is you did it on purpose, but you didn't have time to think about it. It was in the moment you were acting.
I think that's what he did.
Third is like a crime of passion. Like I walk in on some dude, fucking my chick, and I blast him.
Yeah.
That's a crime of passion. That's like third degree murder.
That should be free.
Huh?
Just kidding.
That should be like a high five. You handle your business, player.
I'm kidding. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't believe in anybody being murdered, but that's my utopia. I think that's a fair second degree. I think that's fair.
You think second degree is fair?
I think so because he knew what he was doing. He was on a dude's neck.
Do you think?
He's saying I can't breathe. Homeboy told him, yo, he doesn't have a pulse, and he still stayed on it.
Here's what's gonna happen in the courts, right? If he's a good lawyer, which he is, he's gotta have a badass lawyer. The lawyer is gonna be like, hey, look at this body camera footage of him doing this 1,000 times before this. You know what I mean? He's a veteran of the police force.
But
he's done this 1,000,000 times. How could he have known that he was gonna kill somebody? You gotta prove that he did it with the intention of killing somebody. If he did it 100 times and nothing ever happened of it, how would he know that this one was gonna die?
He knew one of them was gonna. He had to have, because his track record. Again, I don't know the numbers, but I think it was like, I don't want to put out a false number. He had been so many complaints of excessive force.
Yeah, I
heard
about that.
If he's that type of dude, and the Asian cat too, the one that was just standing, he has a bunch of complaints too. Tot or whatever, Thomas something. He has a bunch of complaints too. So, I mean, I for the hope of unity and peace and fucking everything calming down, I hope he gets the worst shit. He has to be made an example of.
Yeah, he deserves to pay for what he did.
I think that if that's what you want is peace and everything to fucking calm down and people to gather their emotions and chill out, I think that's the best thing to happen. If that doesn't happen, if he gets like 2 years,
Agárrate.
bruh, I'm gonna get a gun.
What do you think?
I'm gonna come to your house, and be like, bro, give me a gun.
What do you think is gonna happen when he gets no years?
No, he can't. He can't get no years. He can't. I don't. Well, I'm just saying he can't in the sense of like,
It's gonna be
if he gets no years,
it's gonna be a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know
do you think he should get no years?
People gotta look at this, man. People gotta see the numbers. The numbers matter.
Do you think he should get no years?
If it comes out that he was acting under standard Minneapolis police fucking procedures, you know what I mean? You gotta fucking. He can't pay.
Even after he stopped breathing?
He can't pay for the police department's fault.
Even after there's no pulse?
Did he take a pulse?
The homeboy next to him did, and he told him there's no pulse. I think you should get off him, and he stayed on him for 2 and 3 minutes.
You know, maybe he deserves that manslaughter charge. You know, my cousin did 2 years for manslaughter. She blew like a .09, right? There was a dude in the back of the truck in the bed. There was an accident. He fell off the bed, and she fucking, you know, she fucked him up. She killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But that motherfucker was gonna die. It was not her fault. He got in an accident. He fell off, and then she was on her lane and ran him over. And she got 2 years for that.
No, because you're in the position.
I think he gets house arrest like Tekashi 6ix9ine. I love that guy, man. I love Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's such a troll. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. I do love him. He's a troll, man. He dunks on people.
I get it. I don't like him.
I'm a troll at heart. I like to fuck with people and
I know you do.
Get emotions out of them and stuff like that. Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's a funny dude, man.
I can see it.
He's like, it's big brain time.
Maybe, or he just knows how to get up under people's skin, and that's it.
He's got the Floyd Mayweather recipe in rap. People pay to try to watch him lose, and when he doesn't lose, and people get more fucking invested in it, and he's got a bigger gathering, a bigger following now. And
I get it.
I don't like him. His rap is whack.
Yeah.
He's fun to keep up with. He's a funny dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I don't keep up with him, but I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why it's funny.
If you want to put predictions on the fucking George Floyd, whatever the cop's name is, case, I got $100. I really have $100 if you want to bet. I got $100 that he doesn't get more than a manslaughter charge pinned on him. I'm a gambler, man.
It's okay.
That's just what I think. Based on what I seen,
he has to be made an example. He has to. If not,
agárrate. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna sign up to the.
Hey man, where's all these people? The same people that are saying, you know, why do you need guns? Why do you need this? You know, that's what we have cops for. Turn around in the same face and say, you know, fuck the police. We don't trust the police. Abolish the police.
I don't think those are the same people.
It is the same people.
A minimal amount are
the same people. I've literally seen it with my own two eyes. The same person, few weeks apart, make those same arguments. It's my brother. I can't get it wrong.
No, I know. I was just about to point it out.
I can't fuck this up.
I was just about to point it out.
I cannot fuck this up.
I was just about to point it out.
And I'm like, this is the hypocrisy that got... We could talk about Donald Trump another day. This is the hypocrisy that got him elected.
Yeah.
Is motherfuckers not keeping... They can't even believe themselves. How are they going to make anybody else believe them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, that's a whole different other conversation, that motherfucker, but...
Donald Trump, he's a funny guy. He's another Tekashi.
He's not a leader, though.
He's a big troll.
What he is not a leader. He may be clever and funny, but he's not a leader.
He made a lot of good things happen. People don't want to look at it, but he's
not a leader of a nation. Can we agree on that? He's not a leader of the biggest nation.
Here's what I'll say about Donald Trump, right?
Can we agree on that? Yes or no? Somebody more educated and more well thought out.
We can partially agree on it. Here's what I'll say. He's not the...
Again, I don't know about politics and shit.
He's not the stereotypical leader of a nation as we've known them before. The way we've known them before is fucking good upbringings, you know, clean people, well-spoken, well-educated, good-hearted people. And we know Donald Trump is not any of those things. We fucking know that. But here's what I'll say about him. Doesn't he pose a more realistic representation of what America's like?
It depends what you think.
What do you want to judge him on? Do you want to judge him on the fucked up shit he says? I grabbed this chick from the pussy.
I think we're past that.
You don't think... I've said worse shit than that. I don't want to accuse you of anything, but we all say fucked up shit. You know what I mean?
I've never said that.
You know, he fucks chicks. Everybody knows it. He bangs fucking porn stars, whatever. Look at the divorce rates in this country.
But do you think...
Look at the infidelity rates in this country. He's a fucking spot-on representation of what this country has created.
You shouldn't think...
Verbatim.
It should be more? Should be somebody bigger and better?
I thought we were just trying to get ahead. Fucking be better than everybody else. Fuck all the other countries. Get
That's
ahead.
That's what I'm saying. If he's the same... If he's the same fucked up person that he depicts...
He depicts... pretty much the American dream, if you think about it. Isn't that what people rap about?
My dad wasn't a millionaire and gave me millions in the bank to turn into billions.
You told me that same thing, right? He said, "Oh, he got a small loan of $1 million." He got a small loan of $1 million. At one point, he was worth up to $7 billion. I was like, "Bitch, if I give you $100, are you gonna bring me 70 grand back?" Would take $100 and buy like 10 or 20 of these. You know what I mean? Just because he got a head start doesn't mean his genius isn't real. I think these conversations are what's gonna drive anything forward.
Yeah, and that's why I want to have this.
You're pretty in the middle, though.
Yeah, I am.
I say I'm a Republican because I need to have something to vote for, but like I was fucking stuck in the middle and I didn't know what to do.
Yep.
I wish I had like, you know, some fucking hardcore liberal right here, you know, far left, and I could like, deny these numbers.
But for what?
Deny these numbers. Prove me wrong.
But what's the purpose of that?
Because facts matter. Facts is the most important thing.
So you could argue with them?
If they're willing to argue just straight facts, straight numbers, then there's nothing left to do. They're like
isn't this better though?
This is
for
better.
Progress.
This is better, but there's people that have changed their minds.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Candace Owens. You ever heard of her? The black chick.
Yeah,
she's
her
pretty. She's
coochie,
pretty. She
what's the word?
She went
allegedly. Her coochie stinks.
She went
per Dave Chappelle.
She went pretty hardcore. She went pretty hardcore to the right, but she was a liberal in college.
Yep.
And she's like, look, these are the reasons why I don't fuck with that anymore. And there's a lot of black people like that. A lot of them. The Hodge twins. Fucking Kanye West is on drugs, so he doesn't really know what the fuck he's saying. So people don't pay attention to him. But black people in general, when they take that turn and they're like, yeah, you know what? Fuck this shit. Democrats ain't doing nothing for us. Let's try something else. They get shunned. They get called Uncle Toms. They get called bad shit. You know what I mean? They get treated like garbage.
Yeah. Again, I'm not in the political world. I don't know, and I think it's important to do your research. If the time has come to vote and do your shit, right? And it's important for. I seen a post like, "Don't tell me to vote. Give me specific, motherfucker. I'm not gonna give you a handout. You do your fucking research. Know where the fuck you live and who are the motherfuckers running for everything in your city, in your county, in your state. Know that shit. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and do your research for fucking Maine, Rhode Island, fucking down the east. I'm gonna worry about my city, my county, my government, my state government, and you do the same for yours. That's what needs to happen, you know? And I think that's when shit's gonna change, if we want it to change. In whatever way you want to vote, if we want shit to change in whatever which way we're at, whether we want shit to change in the left, towards the left, or we want shit to change towards the right, that's the only way that's going to happen. And people who say, oh, my vote don't count, well, then shut the fuck up. If you're not going to vote, then shut up. Then don't vote and don't complain. Because at least if you vote,
I hate to see that. I
then
hate
you
to
complain.
see people that don't vote and then bitch.
Yeah, because then what are you complaining about? Not voting? It's your action. At least you know that if you voted and if it's not real, at least you did your part.
They totally missed the point, the way voting works.
So, I don't know. I just think that these conversations are important, and I'm glad that you and I were able to have a conversation, that we were able to understand each other and see each other's point, because that's important. For me, that's important. I don't care about left and right and all that shit. Like, to me personally, it's about human shit. You know what I mean? And you and I can agree on a bunch of shit, and you and I can agree on some shit, disagree on some shit, and we're fucking fine and dandy, and that's okay because we're both human and we both have a right to see different things and to view things differently. That's our right.
Yeah, I figured.
And to say different shit.
I figured we're gonna leave here and I'm gonna teach you a lesson and you're gonna teach me a lesson one way or another.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or else I'll stay here all night until you do. But no, yeah, you know
we've agreed on a lot of shit.
We heard each
and
other.
we've disagreed on some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what matters. We're not to be all on the same fucking straight line is what we're not fighting for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all want equality to express ourselves, equality to say what we want, equality to believe what we need to believe and what we want to believe. That's equality. And if that's what we want, then how are we going to impose somebody to believe what we believe and to see what we see and to think what we think and to say what we say? That's not equality. You're imposing something. That's not right. So, you good?
That's it, man. I guess. Yeah.
You feel good?
You know, we talked about a lot of shit.
It's good.
I thought we were gonna
argue.
I thought we were gonna argue about Black Lives Matter.
No.
I said what I had to say about it. You know, whatever.
And I think like I said, we've agreed on some shit.
Here's what's unfortunate. What's really unfortunate about this whole thing is that we talked for so long, and there was so much like blur in between that
it's gonna be lost in the context.
You would have to take a lot of, badass clips and make a montage for somebody to take the message out of this.
And I probably will, bro, because this is important. I'm gonna post the whole thing and then clip important shit because it is, bro.
You'll be hard pressed to find somebody that's gonna watch this whole thing unedited. How long we been here? Been here a long time.
2:46.
You know, I'm a clip a lot of shit. I hope I get the time. I have a lot of shit going on right now, which is why I pushed you from Monday to Wednesday to Friday. I have a lot of shit going on, but I'm gonna find the time to clip it, and it's important. It really is important to find a common ground, and it's okay for you to have a different view than I have. But as long as we understand that the core shit, we agree on core shit, that's all that matters. All the accessories, they're just accessories. You know what I mean? So I'm good. You good? We didn't argue. It's exactly what I wanted. There was like I was trying to tell you earlier, there was other dudes that were arguing and doing all this other shit. I'm like, motherfucker, you're too passionate. I can't have a conversation. I can't have you agree, and I can't agree with some of your shit because you're too fucking passionate. This isn't about a team thing. This isn't about winning or losing. This is about coming together, having a conversation, and that's it.
Yeah, if I could make one person, take a little bit from it and think about shit more logically.
Yep.
And I don't even want motherfuckers to believe me. I just want people to do what I do.
The research.
This is so rare that people, go out and look at shit on their own and talk about it. And people just regurgitate fucking what they're told. They get diarrhea of the mouth and they just repeat shit.
Exactly. And I think that some people might look at this. Some people might watch this and be like, "Yo, bro, you fucking succumbed to whatever." I haven't succumbed to anything. We've agreed on a lot of things.
Like Milo Yiannopoulos.
The gay British dude?
The gay Jew that's married to a black guy and loves to talk about how much he loves that big black
He does that shit for
and they call him a racist.
Yeah. But
how much fucking more
he does
to call that guy racist?
I think he does it purposely a little bit though too.
He's a big troll.
Yeah.
He makes money off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for having a conversation and not arguing and tripping and having a team view. having an actual conversation. I appreciate that, man.
This was laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at.
You good?
When we talked about...
Wait, are you good?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
I'm offended.
Much love to everybody. Please, I hope you guys like this shit and let somebody know about this shit. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned. Much love.